Hey guys, how's it going? Let me go ahead and set up this room and then we can get started. All right, cool. Let me get this link sent out. Post this on the Instagram. We should be good. Damn, look at that huge spike for US 30. Thankfully, we weren't in that trade just yet. Look at that. 700 pips. Crazy. All right, let me finish this up real quick. Hey, Peter, how's it going, bro? Man, look at that crazy spike for US 30. I'm gonna go ahead and send out this link so we can get started. Hey, Alkin, how's it going, bro? Morning, everybody. Let me get this going real quick. Post this link to our Telegram groups. Hey, Greg, morning. Morning, Castian. Morning, Victor. Morning, everybody. I'm going to post this link up real quick to all of our pages, and then we will get started. So I don't know if you guys saw that huge spike for US 30. See, the market's moving crazy, guys. Like, if you guys aren't aware, like, the market is just not moving proper today because of the inauguration that's coming tomorrow. That's why we're being a little careful with our trades, because we don't want to get caught in any of this crazy movement right here. And I'll explain that shortly. You know, like the mindset for US 30 right here. And this is why we wouldn't want to be in a trade just yet. Because it's pretty clear, you know, what's going on. Market's being manipulated because everyone anticipates like a bullish move. So they spike price down to stop everyone out. Obviously, I'll go over this shortly. I'm going to post the link so everyone can get in. And then, you know, I'll go into detail of like what I think this spike was caused for, like why markets moving like this. Okay, I'll get this on the Facebook real quick. Let me also post this on the to the emails. I think I keep forgetting. There's like I know there's another place that I need to post this. I can't remember. Aside from IG, let me just go ahead and post it real quick. But down, look at that huge spike, guys. If you guys are just joining the room, huge spike right there for US 30. It's honestly, there's like no surprise there because, you know, like I mentioned earlier, the market's been moving weird. And for the people that don't understand that, I mean, just looking at the chart right here, look at this huge spike. It's like over 1,000 pips already. So if you like look at other trading groups, a lot of people are telling people to buy US 30, or they're saying that, you know, it's getting to a price point where to buy. Even on a CNBC, you know, it's like, oh, Dow jumps more than 200 points. So they give you news like super late, and people get sucked into this news here. That's why we don't trade news, because like everything here indicates that, you know, the Dow is probably going to go up. And look what happened. People enter that buy right there. As soon as they enter the buy and people FOMO into this trade, it drops like 1,000 pips. So price is obviously being manipulated because everyone is going for a buy on US 30 because there's news here saying that it's going to be bullish. And basically, you know, all these other groups, like trading groups, that are saying to buy US 30. See, if you follow that and you fell for that trap, you would have been stopped out, or almost stopped out, because market opened right here. It spiked up like 300, 400 pips. And then people just kept entering buy positions, right? Because people are FOMOing in. As soon as those people enter those buy positions, the institution spike price down, right? About 1,000 pips. So that's why we don't take the opening candle. And that's why we don't follow news. If they're indicating, you know, to trade in a certain direction, because you're just going to get kicked out like the rest of the other traders who were following that. So let me go ahead and post the link to our Instagram real quick. I think we have one other place where it needs to be posted, and then we can get started. Let's see. Okay. I got this on the Instagram real quick. Let me see who's here in the room. Looks like everyone's joining in already. Nice. Morning, Cole. Peter said US 30 and NASDAQ on the 1 minute. Look at those candles. Yeah, no, definitely, bro. I'll take a look right now. But yeah, man, I can only imagine how crazy it moved on the market open. That's why you guys gotta remember, sometimes it's better not to trade and to just sit it out and wait to see how the market reacts. Because if you were in this trade here for US 30, you probably would have been burnt for sure. Both ways, like sellers would have been burnt, and then I don't know, buyers would have been burnt, and then people who try to enter the sell as it dropped would have been burnt too, because it keeps spiking right back up and down, right? So it's obviously triggering stop losses as it bounces back and forth. So let me just post this link up on the Instagram real quick, and then we will get started. All right, we're good. Cool. So I think we're good with that. Let me go through the chat real quick, see who else is here. Shawn said, looking for Big Daddy Biden. Definitely. Morning Wave. And Lloyd said, hey, bro, anything on GU today? So I'll add you to the list, Lloyd. So Lloyd wants me to take a look at GBP USD. Got you on the list, Lloyd. You're first on list. AJ, how's it going, bro? Let's see if there's anything else here before we continue. Razul, good morning. Morning, Matt. Morning, Indra. Morning, Varun. Morning, Alan. Morning, Joey. Morning, Karen. Morning, Kendra. Morning, Kurt. Morning, James. Morning, we'll see. Morning, everybody. Let's see what's here. Dejan said that candle long as hell. Yeah, definitely. So good thing that, you guys, well, hopefully you guys were in the trade or in a US 30 trade, because you probably would have gone stopped out if that was the case. Just like everyone has mentioned, if you go on the 1 minute, check out these huge spikes, right? And this is as soon as market opens. So market opens here at 6:30. From 6:30, it spiked all the way up here, and then it dropped all the way down here about 1,000 pips. So it's been ranging, or not really ranging, but whipsawing about 1,000 pips back and forth. So this is why, when I give warnings in the premium group, guys, those warnings are given for a reason, because I don't want to get caught in like these crazy spikes right here. Obviously the other pairs are kind of moving unusually too. Like for Odd Cat over here, I had this entry available, but I decided not to take it because, like I mentioned, the market's just not moving proper right now because of the inauguration that's coming tomorrow. What else did I mark up here? Yeah, same with EuroCAD right here. I was going to call this trade, but I was worried that we're going to take this trade and then it ends up, going up slightly before, obviously reversing, because I think the US dollar is probably negating strength tomorrow when the inauguration goes on, because I feel like it's going to bring morale to the US. So like when we have, Trump's out of the house and Biden takes over, I think morale is going to grow within the US. So when that happens, I think the US dollar is going to get stronger, as like people have a more positive outlook, with regard to COVID and stuff like that, since Biden's trying to roll out the COVID vaccines. And, if COVID ends up being resolved, then businesses can reopen, we can go back to normal, sooner than later. So if that happens, obviously I think the dollar will continue to grow in strength, kind of similar to looking at the index here. You can see from January, it came down like from the beginning, from January 11 all the way until the 12th. And I think when new Biden news came out and stuff, it spiked up. And obviously it came down when he talked about when the stimulus was released, and then it came back up. So that's basically what I see happening here too for the dollar index. With that said, I'm not going to pull out of some of our positions, like our Euro USD position. I'm not pulling out of this yet, because I think this is a temporary, pull upwards. And I think it's going to start dumping once we get closer to the inauguration tomorrow. So I'm not going to hop out of this trade just yet, because a lot can happen from now until tomorrow. And tomorrow's inauguration can easily spike price. in one direction or the other. So just keep that in mind, guys, when entering some trades today, because you can probably expect price to probably reverse tomorrow or spike in one direction. It's going to be dangerous, but it's going to be in our favor if it does spike in the opposite direction, because I don't think the US dollar is going to be that weak. You can see here that it is gaining strength already, right? You can see that it's basically swinging back up, kind of similar to here. You can see this pattern here where it has like a little bit of a waterfall drop, and then it has a nice bottom wick, kind of like what's building up right here. Let me just make this bigger. Kind of like what's building up right here. Like, let's draw this right here. You can see whenever it has a strong bottom wick, it ends up swinging all the way back up. So strong bottom wick, strong bottom wick, strong bottom wick. And then again down here, you know, if this establishes a low, if this closes like as this bullish candle, and then it swings up as another bullish candle, kind of similar to right here, nice wick, bullish candle, nice wick, bullish candle, nice wick, bullish candle, it ends up spiking all the way back up. So if that happens, you can expect the USD pairs like this right here to head on downwards. I'm not sure what caused the Euro index to gain in strength so much yesterday when the market, possibly because the US market was closed. But, you know, looking at the Euro index over here, it's doing the complete opposite of the US dollar index over here. So like, for example, here, we were looking for that bottom wick and then it ends up shooting up, right? For example, here, you know, we have some higher wicks right here, followed by a bearish candle. So I'm anticipating this drop right there. Again, same situation right here. If this ends up closing like that with a bearish candle, it was followed by like a nice bearish candle, kind of similar to right here. I think people call them tweezers. If you see that right there, I would anticipate this to head down. So if that happens right there, it's going to weaken the Euro index, and then it's going to increase the dollar index. And if that happens, this is going to end up swinging all the way down. So I'm holding on to this position, even though we're like in some heavy drawdown for Euro USD, but I think it's definitely going to, you know, be swinging back. So just keep that in mind. Let me see if there's anything else here before we continue on. Go back to OddCat over here. US 30. We're going to be looking for a buy signal actually for US 30. So I think we're not going to get one that soon. I think it's going to drop quite a bit. It's probably going to drop to like somewhere down there, and then I think we'll get midway through the session. So maybe like around 7 or 8. Like, we're probably going to catch that move, and we're going to catch a buy signal, and then we'll enter a buy from somewhere down here, and then pretty much just write it up. But who knows? You know, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. I'm going to draw some zones just in case. I just want to see where the lower zones are. So we're looking for where the rejection point is going to be at as it, you know, continues to drop down further. So it's actually at a zone right now, right there. Next zone is like way down here. So just looking at price right now, I go back on the 10-minute. Price is actually at a zone. So we might not even catch that as it comes down further. It rejected off it perfectly, right? I drew that zone on the 1 hour, and you can see here on the 10-minute, it rejected off it perfectly. So it might not even drop that far down. It might reject off this point right here, either this point or somewhere within the zone for us to, you know, possibly take that buy entry. Or it might even drop further. Like, who knows? That's why we're going to be patient with it and just wait for it to come down, because it could drop even further. It looks like it's establishing higher highs though. Like, for example, here, a low, high, sorry, high, low, high. I take that off right there. You guys can see what I mean by that. It's been an uptrend for the most part. For US 30. So this might reject right off here. I mean, it could reject at any point out of the structure. And then, you know, when that happens, we'll probably get a buy signal somewhere over here and then catch that right up. It might reject from here, here, anywhere within the zone, or it might even drop further. I don't think it's going to happen though. It might drop further, you know, down to like way down here before it shoots up. Because if this happens right here, this will probably be a fake out entry for certain people. Because I know some people have drawn like, you know, their trend line like we did right here, and it's probably going to break below it. And people are going to take a sell, so it's going to lure in sellers. As soon as that happens, it's going to reject right off it and shoot up. or it could even drop down here. Highly doubt it. This is a big drop. So if we measure this from this, let's see, market opened right here, all the way down there, that's like 2,700 pips. Probably not going to happen. From here, it usually moves like sweet spots about 1,500 pips. So yeah, see how perfectly that lines up. 1,500 pips is right there. So it usually moves in two waves of 1,500 pips. So it's probably going to come down, reject off that structure, and then shoot on up right there. But we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. So we'll give it some time. Otherwise, I'll be answering any other questions that you guys have meanwhile. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we will continue moving forward with our analysis here. So let's see. Dejan said, RIP to all the traders in IML that placed to buy. Yeah, no, definitely. Dejan. Good morning, Nazareth. Morning, Walter. Let's see. Dejan said, in all serious though, Shawn, have you ever thought about a 6-month subscription? Yeah, I have. We were thinking about like a 3-month subscription, but we haven't really implemented it yet. So we probably will, but I mean, I've just been way too busy, bro. It's like obviously mentoring people and, with their own trades. So that's why I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, possibly at some point, or I could even do one just for you, Shawn, if that's what you want. I just have to figure out the numbers. But yeah, I mean, you can talk to me, hit me up in the DM, Dejan. Then we get, if that's really what you want, we can obviously give you a discounted option for the 6 months, and then we can figure that out. But yeah, meanwhile, I think for the general public, it's just I'm just way too busy to really figure something like that out. Razul said, Shawn, please review GU. I'm in a sell. Okay, I'll take a look at that. I think if you're in a sell for GU, Razul, you should be fine because, like I was mentioning before, I anticipate the US dollar to gain in strength. So if you're in GU, I'll just open the pound index over here. So looking at the pound index over here, let's see this over here. Yeah, looking at the pound index over here, it looks like it's probably going to swing down from this point. So it did swing down into a downtrend. So looking at the pound index right here, I think if it closes below the structure, then it'll probably come down further. And if that happens and the US dollar continues pushing up, like we mentioned earlier, then I think the GU will continue going back downwards. But I'll analyze it for you shortly. Let me just get through everything right here, and then we'll get started with that. So I do have GU on the list already for Lloyd. So I'll add Lloyd and Razul to that. Let's see. Dejan said, doesn't GU move similar to US 30, or is that GJ? I'm a little rusty. I know EU moves similar to US 30. I don't know about GU. I mean, we can check. Actually, no, it doesn't, because I did check that before. I was looking for US 30 correlations. I think it's mostly just S&P, US 30, some other indices, and EU. Those are the main correlating pairs for it. I think GJ and GU don't really move together either. Let me just check the correlation charts. So let's see the correlating pairs for, I think you mentioned GU, right? GU over here. Let's see. GBP USD. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it has a positive correlation. So GJ and GU have pretty similar correlation, 87.5%. I don't think US 30 does though. So let me just check real quick. I'll just show you guys. And this is simple, guys. You just do a simple Google search. You just go on Google, you type in, US 30 pair correlation. Here we go. So US 30 pair correlation. Yeah, I was looking at this yesterday. It shows that the correlating pairs for US 30 are going to be EU, S&P, and US 30. I don't think GU is part of this. So those are probably the ones that you want to look at if you're looking at your USD, or you're looking at at US 30. But yeah, basically these are the three pairs that correlate with that specific asset. If you want to look at the other ones, you guys can go to MyFXBook, just search MyFXBook correlation or something like that. And then you can find, the correlating pairs right here. It doesn't have to be GU. We have a whole table right here if you guys want to see exactly what correlates and what doesn't. Or you can also just open the index as well. If you just want to open the index, that works even better because you can get the raw data and you can actually anticipate, what direction each currency is moving in. So I think that's about it for that. Let me go ahead and take a look at the other questions over here. Good morning, Lisa. Sure, no problem. Osima wants me to take a look at GBP odd. So Osima, GBP odd. Yeah, Lisa, I think, like I mentioned earlier, the dollar index is going up right here. So it's going to gain in strength. That's why I think Euro USD is going to come back down. And if I look at the Euro index over here, it's actually coming down. So if this comes down and this goes up, this is going to make a Euro USD come down. So I think our position is fine. I'm going to hold on to it and then just let it play out from that point. Other than that, I think that's it for the questions right now. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And if you guys haven't already, please like the stream so that we can continue to grow this channel and I can continue to come on this live stream for you guys every morning. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to pull up GU real quick for Lloyd and Razul. So we got GU right here open. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out from this point, delete everything off the chart, and I'll show you guys exactly how I analyze everything, right? So, I can give you guys a checklist here because a lot of people always ask me, like, how do you analyze a chart? So this is my K² analysis checklist. So first I'm going to identify zones using K² SRV2 indicator. That's number one. Number two is I'm going to identify direction of price using K² momentum indicator. And then I'm just going to analyze scenarios. So, that's pretty much it, guys. Analyze scenarios, and then after that, confirm confluences. And I'll show you guys, what I mean by that. I pretty much, we do the same thing every single trade. It's nothing really different at all. I'll zoom out from this point, turn on the K² SR indicator. And I'm going to go ahead and drop my zones. So I do this for every single pair. It doesn't matter if it's Forex, indices, futures, gold, silver, stocks. It doesn't really matter, guys. It's the same process works for everything. The main key is like identifying structures, so like where to trade and where not to trade. And then identifying things like the direction of momentum, so you know which direction to trade in, right? It's really simple. So you guys can see there, I drew all my zones within a few seconds. There's checklist this number one on the checklist, identify zones using the K² indicator. So once we have that, you can see that we have these nicely drawn zones that identify pretty much all these rejection points, right? So once we have that there, I turn on the momentum indicator and then I can determine, the direction of momentum. So looking at momentum right here, obviously we have a bullish bias, right? Because we have a buy signal right here. So for example, here, we're going to identify, key points in structure. So I'm going to turn on the circle button right here. So for one, we have a rejection off this point right here. However, it's not really rejecting off anything, right? It's just rejecting in the middle of, the air. So this doesn't really look like a strong rejection for me because for, in order for this to be a strong rejection for me, I want it to reject off actual structure. So an example of that is a rejection like right here. This rejects off this structure right here, right? This K² SR level. It's followed by a buy signal, and then it shoots up pretty nicely. Same situation over here. Rejection off structure. We previously have a buy signal over here already. So since we have that, the bullish move continues up further. So it's basically like a break and retest, right? We have a buy signal, price break structure, comes down for a retest, and then it shoots on up. Same situation right here, except we're waiting for that following confirmation with the buy signal. So we have price come up, it comes down to retest the structure, buy signal, and then it shoots, all the way up. For example, right here, we have a rejection, but it's in there. It's just a normal rejection. It's not necessarily rejecting off a structure. So there's not a strong confirmation right there. And then we have a buy signal right here. So we have a buy signal right here. What generally happens is it pushes to the next structure like it did right here. So at this point, price can either continue up higher and break through the structure, or it can reject off this point and head on back down. My guess is it's going to head on back down. Because for one, this wasn't a strong rejection off this structure. And I see that this move over here hasn't yet completed, right? So what I mean by that is we actually have a nice rejection off this point, off this upper structure. It was followed by a buy signal right here, broke structure, came down, tested this structure right here. It broke structure again. So technically, I think this was establishing a swing high. So it just had a small retracement. For example, right here, we have the high, we have the low, we have the swing high move lower down here. So we have a lower high, and then I think it's going to reject off this point and head back down to establish a lower low. So you can see that little pattern right there, right? That's why these zones are very important, because if you have these zones, you can identify where the strong rejections are. You can avoid these small rejections, like these little small rejection points, and focus more where price is rejecting off this structure. Because obviously you can see when price rejects off the structure, and then it breaks through next structure. So it rejection right here, sell signal, it broke through structure right here, and then it came down all the way. Vice versa right here, we have a nice rejection off this point, buy signal, but doesn't break structure. So that's why it comes right back down. So for example, right here, price, we have a weak rejection, buy signal, it reached structure right here. And I think this is going to come back down from this point. So, obviously we've identified the zones. I've identified the direction of momentum. So currently we have a bullish bias because this signal is a buy. But once we get a sell signal, kind of similar to this right here, because obviously price swings up and then it swings down. So if we have a rejection off this point and price comes down here and closes below the structure with a sell signal, then I could anticipate that to drop from that point. So that is pretty much, what we're waiting for right here. And then looking over at the indexes. So requirement 1 and 2 have been met right there. So this scenario right here is scenario number 1 is that price will reject off this point, right? Scenario number 2 is that it breaks off this point over here. Sorry, I'm going to delete this real quick. This is scenario number 1. This is my bias because I think the dollar is going to gain in strength over time. But my dog's scratching. Guys, stop scratching. Sorry, guys. Scenario number 1 is price will reject off this point, provide a sell signal, and then continue down. Scenario number 2 is price continues pushing out further, breaks above this structure, and then continues up higher. Obviously, there's 2 scenarios that can play out here. It's not just one. But from my analysis, I think that this is probably going to swing down from this point. Because like I mentioned here, it's a weak rejection. Right here is a stronger rejection. And this move never completed because when price broke below the structure, price should have continued down further to test this structure right here. So looking at the indexes over here, I have the pound index right there. Looks like the pound index is kind of consolidating, but it looks like it's weakening because we do have a bearish candle right there. In comparison to the US dollar index, we have a strong bullish candle right here. So if this candle right here closes, with this nice rejection, it's basically a tweezer right here. We have a nice rejection off this point followed by a strong bullish candle. Odds are the dollar is going to be pretty strong, right? And that's basically what I see happening right here for the dollar index. So if that happens, then we can anticipate this to reject off the structure at some point and then head on down. So this is basically what I see happening for GU. So for one, we identified the zones using the K2SR indicator. Number 2, we identified the direction of price using the K2 momentum indicator. Like I mentioned, we have a buy momentum right here, but it's at structure right here, which is also a resistance. So if it rejects off this point, followed by a sell signal, then we can anticipate a drop to happen right here. And then another confirmation for that is that we have the rejection right here. So if it's followed by a sell signal, kind of similar to what happened here, rejection, sell signal, drop, rejection, sell signal, drop, rejection. It's like the same pattern pretty much every time. Rejection, sell signal, price broken structure, and then it dropped heavily, right? So that's kind of what I see happening right here. But you know, like I mentioned, the market is probably going to still move a little slow because we're just coming back from the U.S. holiday, and we have the inauguration tomorrow. So that's definitely going to affect the market. So that's basically what I see happening for G over here. We identified the structure, we identified momentum, we analyzed two different scenarios for both a sell and a buy, and then we confirm the confluences right here using the British pound index and the dollar index over here as well. Obviously, you know, this is going to indicate the strength of each currency. If the pound is weak and the US dollar is strong, that's going to indicate that this is going to come down in this direction. So that's pretty much what I see happening for GU right here. Going back to US 30 real quick. Wow, look at US 30, guys. Look what happened. It did exactly what I said was going to happen, right? Came down, rejected off this point, then it shot right back up. So we're still looking for that that buy signal to appear. It looks like it's going to come up soon. But yeah, it played out just like I mentioned, right? I drew this right before it happened. I said it was going to come down, test this structure, then probably reject off it. If not, break through, and then test this structure down here. But I'm not sure if it's going to drop that far down, because if it drops all the way down here, it's like a 2,700 pip move. So from right here all the way down here, that's 2,700 pips. It's a long drop down there. You know, similarly down here, it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna drop like 4,000 pips. So this looks like the sweet spot right here. It played out just like, you know, I identified earlier. So we'll just be waiting for that buy signal. So let's see, market opened right here, and we will continue on with this, you know, moving forward. So that's pretty much it right there. I'm gonna check out the chat real quick, see if there's anything else that we're looking out for before we continue on further. So we're done with GU for Azul and Lloyd. Hopefully that helped you guys. Next we have GA for Mosima. See if there's anything else here before we continue on further. Victor said, Shawn, what made you choose 1 hour to draw the zones for US 30? Why not the 4 hour? Because the 4 hour is super far out, Victor. You know, obviously we don't trade. We're not trading US 30. We want the intraday zones, not the weekly zones, right? If you're on the 4 hour zones, like the zones are way too far out. Like the next zone is like way down here. And then the zone before that, below that is like way down here. So Victor, if you're looking at these zones right here, you're not really expecting this to happen like within a day, right? Because price is so far from them. So if you're drawing your zones down here, you're anticipating a drop of like 3,000 pips, right? And then the next structure down here is going to be like 4,000 pips. So that's why I use the 1 hour instead of the 4 hour, because the zones are just too far out. And it doesn't always like drop that far down. Like, let me see, for example, let me look at yesterday's. So like, for example, over here was yesterday. So if I was to draw the 4 hour zones here, they're kind of far out, right? Because, oh no, this is sorry, let me go to 4 hour. Yeah, so if you were doing this right here, you'd have no upper zones because it's so far out. Like if you zoom out of the chart on the 4 hour, you're pulling data all the way from October 15, 2020. This is kind of irrelevant because price is way up here and it's only going to move within this little area for that day, right? For intraday, it's not going to move that much. So we don't really need all this data back here. If you go on the 1 hour, it pulls data from December. So this is fine because this is like just a month back. So we have the zones all the way a month back, and that's fine because we have all these like important areas where price currently is. Obviously, if you go on the shorter time frame, like the 10-minute, you only have data from last week on the 13th. So this isn't really going to help us because there's a lot of noise here. And that's the reason why I use the 1 hour versus the 4 hour, because we use the 4 hour on Forex because we trade those for the week, right? Like those are intraday trades, but they'll usually hang on for like a couple of days or so in some instances. For US 30, we're not holding this for a whole day. We're only holding it for like an hour or so. So that's why we want the smaller zones right here, which pull data from like an X amount of period right here versus the 4 hour where it goes super far back to like October. Like we're not really going to be, like price is going to be so far away that we don't really care about these zones down here, because if we go back like to the beginning of December, price is going to be like 13,000 pips away from current price, right? So it's kind of irrelevant from that point. So hopefully that answers your question, Victor. But that's why we use the shorter time frames, because we're trading intraday within the first couple hours or so. Let's see. C6 said, "Holy smokes, FTMO is currently lagging compared to TV." let me check real quick. 30. I don't know. Is it lagging that much, Chisu? Let me see. Because the price on FTMO is, so here it's 39.46 minus 38.40. It's only off by like 100 pips, Sisu. I don't know if it's that off. It might be because you're using the different asset. Are you using a US 30 cash? If you're using US 30 cash, that's probably why. But I'm using the normal data because they haven't changed over yet, and it's only off by like 100 pips. So it doesn't look like that much to me. But it might be because of the asset that you're looking at. Let me check real quick. C6 said it's reporting ahead. Let me see. Go on the 1 hour. I'm trying to figure out what you're looking at, Sisu. I mean, but that does happen sometimes. It does report ahead because the thing with trading views, we're using the futures data, which is it's ahead of time. I mean, it's not ahead of time, but you get the raw data, like you get the actual real data. But looking at it here, the candles do look a little different. I'm not sure. It's weird. Let's see. We have this bullish candle. You know, I think FTMO is ahead of, yeah, because FTMO has a futures data. So I think FTMO is actually ahead of TradingView, because I'm looking at it right now and it looks like, the heck? Yeah, it looks like on TradingView, I mean, on FTMO, price is like way over here already. Yeah, dude, it's way ahead. Well, I mean, it's not super ahead, but it wouldn't be an advantage to us because we're trading on FTMO. But I wonder what it's like on Hugo's way. Hold up, guys. Let me check real quick. Because if that's the case, man, I can make some money off little scalps right now. Let me open the chart real quick on Hugo's way. Yeah, I don't know why it's kind of delayed. 1 hour? That's weird. You know, we're probably gonna hold off on US 30 today, guys. If that's the case, because this happens sometimes when there's heavy news, where pricing is like slightly delayed. It looks super delayed on my end though. Oh, okay, let me check a different. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. Fuck, that was retarded. Okay, my bad. Sisu, it was because I think it was because I was going backwards in time. No, because I was showing you guys like how I zone it. Never mind, it's proper. It's the same thing. Yeah, no, it's the same thing, Sisuk. It's just I rewinded the time because I was showing Victor how to draw the zones, but it's exactly the same. There's nothing different. Sorry guys, false alarm. I was getting ideas. I was like, oh, I could like make some money off trading this on the other one. But no, it's the same, Sisuk. It's just the pricing is actually let me check it again real quick. I think it's the same. So let me see. We have 330,911 minus 308.06. Yeah, it's the same thing. There's nothing different. I just pulled it up because the problem was it was rewinded. So I was back over here like marking it up for Victor to show the zones, but it's pretty much the same thing. There's nothing different right now. I just looked at FTM on my account over here, and then yeah, look, it's pretty much the same thing, guys. False alarm. CSU got me super excited because I was going to try to scalp some quick moves off there, but it doesn't look like there's really much of a difference on there. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, CSU. So let me check the rest of the chat real quick. Hey, Billy, how's it going, bro? Varun said, see the US 30 wick? Yeah, definitely. Huge wick right there for US 30 on the 10-minute. So I think it's going to reject off this point. It might even drop a little further before coming back up, but I think eventually it's going to swing back up. Dilraj said, are you going to use the new strategy for this trade, or are you still using the original one? So I'm still using the original one, Dilraj. Varun said, IG sentiment says 60% short. So that's not too bad. Let me pull that up as well. So we have IG sentiment US 30. Yeah, so looking at the IG sentiment over here. Yeah, so it looks like people are getting stopped out of the short. So you can see that earlier, Varun mentioned that it was 60%. Now it's 59% because it looks like people were entering short positions and it spiked up from this point. Let's see how many pips. Like 600 or 700 pips, and then it saw people out. So, and we'll have to wait and see how this plays out right here. I'll see how this candle closes. If it closes below the structure, then it might continue dropping a little further. But I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this ends up, playing out from this point. Hey, Josh, you're probably here, Josh, but look, check this out, that the strategy. So me and Josh were looking at strategies last night for US 30, and there's kind of this cool thing where we drew our structures on like the higher time frame, and then we use the K² SR zone strategy right here. So like, for example, if we were to take this trade right here, it would have hit full TP, right? So this would have been a nice entry right here, and then like again, same situation. Let me see. Pretty much ride this to the next structure down there. About 100 pips. And then again, same situation over here. When price swung below, buy signal, ride that up here for full TP. So it's another full TP right there. Again, right here, price break below structure with the sell signal. Another full TP. So we got 3 full TPs right there. I mean, same situation right here. When price breaks above structure, we pretty much do the same thing. Ride it to the next structure. Like for example, here, full TP. And if this closes below here, maybe we might be able to take a sell. Let's ride that down to the next structure down here. So you guys can see right here that the K2SR strategy actually works very well for not just Forex, but it works well for everything here. You can see whenever price breaks structure, it pretty much pushes down further. We have a sell signal, broke structure, straight down a full TP. So this is something that we're looking at. I mean, there's a lot of different strategies that we've been coming up with. Josh's Sunday Funday strategy has been pretty fun for the most part. We hit full TP yesterday, so we're pretty heavily in profit. But we're always working around the clock to figure out new strategies that we can apply to increase our win rate and profitability for the year. So this is definitely something that I'll probably be talking about further with Josh. And then if this looks good, maybe we'll introduce it to you guys. But obviously right here, it's pretty nice. It's about 1,000 pips actually this way, another 100 pips this way, or 1,000 pips. So that'd be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, possibly 5,000 pip profit right here. If you took these 3 trades from the 15th up until today, plus you include the daily entries, and there's just a lot of profit that can be hit for everything right here. Josh said, I got another one too, Shish. Yeah, me and Josh are gonna get on another session later, or maybe we'll just talk in the chat, but we'll talk about it for these new US 30 strategies that we've been working on. So let me see if there's anything else here before I continue on moving forward. Josh said, are we applying taking signals based off the passing previous signal? So probably not, Josh, probably not. I noticed that we did have a higher win rate, but we did miss some good trades sometimes. So I'm not sure if there was like really something good to apply long-term. So I'm probably going to hold off on that for now. I'm more so going to focus on market structure to see if we have a nice rejection and we have a buy signal, then I would probably take that trade. Because, like I mentioned earlier, if we have nice rejection points and then it's followed by, some sort of buy signal or sell signal, then usually it has a pretty nice drop from that point. So I'm probably not going to be using the new strategy for now. I'm mostly going to be using, the original one. Let me see if there's anything else over here. Lloyd said, is it better to draw SR for our charts on the 1 hour time frame? So it depends on what you're trading, Lloyd. On Forex, I draw it on the 4 hour, but for indices, I draw it on the 1 hour because we don't trade this like a swing trade, right? And it moves a lot faster compared to Forex pairs. So that's why I would use it on the 4 hour for the Forex pairs, but 1 hour on the indices. See if there's anything else over here before we continue on forward. Mosima said US 30 seems to be testing the 200 EMA on the 1 hour. Yeah, I can see that. So let me see if I turn on the pivots over here. See, the thing with this is that this huge drop right here caused a sharp drop in price. So that's why it's kind of iffy. But we can take a look at the EMA that Mosiba mentioned. So he was looking at the EMA 200 on the 1 hour. So looking at this on the 1 hour right here, yeah. So the EMA lines up perfectly with our zone right here, right? It's rejecting off the EMA plus it's rejecting off our zone. So that's going to give, probably a stronger confluence as to how it's going to move from there. So we'll see how this plays out. This is actually pretty good using this EMA to to like include the rejection points from this point. So maybe I'll use this as an extra confluence for US 30. Thanks for mentioning that, Mosima. So I'm going to change this into a different color though. I usually like it to, or no, it's fine this color, but I'd probably make it a little thicker. There we go. So you guys can see. Okay, I'll take that off there. But yeah, just looking at Mosima's mention right there, it's rejecting off the structure and it's rejecting off the EMA. So this could be good. So let me continue on a little further before we continue on with the questions. So skills traits, I guess that's why the previous video is unavailable. No, that was a different skills trait. So it was a different mentoring session with someone that wanted a private session. So we had to take that one down. Let's see if there's anything else here. Braden said, looks like that strat would be good for a ranging market. Yeah, definitely, Braden. That's exactly what it looks like, right? Because like when price is ranging right here, you can pretty much write it from zone to zone whenever we get a signal so that you know exactly, which direction to trade. Because obviously you're not going to trade, for a sell if you have a buy signal, and you're not going to take a buy if you have a sell signal, obviously. But if that ever happens where you have a ranging market like this, it can be easy money made there. Let's see if there's anything else here. Flynn said K2, always innovating. I'm not going to say that on the live, but I do see what you said, Flynn. It's too funny. Flynn said US 30 price bounced off the 618 fib, confirmation for a buy bias. Yeah, no, definitely. So if you're using the Fibonacci's, I don't use Fibonacci, so I'm probably doing this wrong, but I'll just draw that for you right there. Yeah, it looks like it's coming down from this point. So we'll see how this plays out, but I mean, the Fibonacci's kind of line up with the pivots as well. So if you use the pivots here, you can see that it kind of lines up with those Fibonacci lines as well. Well, only if it was like swinging up. So if it's swinging up right here, like for example, if you're using the Fibonacci right here, you would see that these Fibonacci levels kind of match up with the pivots, right? You have the pivot up here, pivot down there, and they line up depending on where you place your fibs. But yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait for this to swing up. Looks like it's trying to break below. We have 13 seconds left on here. I think if it fails to break below the structure, it's probably gonna shoot up. So we got about 5 seconds left on this candle. Let's see what happens with this as it, did exactly what we thought. It failed to break structure right here. We have the wick below it, but we'll see how this candle closes right here. If this closes below, we could probably anticipate this to drop further. If that's the case, I'm probably not going to take the trade because it just seems a little too risky having this drop like way down here, because that's a huge drop, guys. If you guys look at that, You know, like I mentioned earlier, from this high from today when market opened all the way down here, that's 3,000 pips. And it's only been, the market's only been open for like an hour. So in an hour, it dropped 3,000 pips. And then it could possibly drop even further down here, 5,000 pips, you know, if that's the case, unless it ends up wicking down here and then it ends up shooting back up from this point. So, I mean, there's a lot of situations that can play out here for US 30, but we're just going to wait and see how this plays out because we're not going to enter any trades until we have that full confirmation. So Lisa mentioned, Shawn, a few times on the live, you have placed trades on US 30 following a false signal. Can you go over the structure you are using to make that determination? Yeah, so let me see if I could find an example for a false signal here. I mean, it would have to be, sorry, I would have to go back in data. Let me see if I could find one over here. Let me just pull back over here and see if I could find one where it's a false signal. Using that false signal would be the new strategy that, you know, I've been talking about, but I haven't really been applying lately because it just gives out a lot of false entries. So, trying to find some false signals here. It's kind of hard to see looking at this, but let's see if you can find it here. Because it has to be a false signal, but it also has to be during like New York session when there's volatility in the market. This is 1700. So we probably wouldn't have taken this one because this is during Asia session. This is also during Asia session. Reason why we don't want to take the trades during Asia sessions because the market is just way too slow. And a lot of these are just fake outs. These are both Asia session. Let me see if there's anything here. This is, okay, perfect. So this is, but it doesn't fit the requirement. So this is a false signal right here during US session. I'm not sure when's the last time you saw it, Lisa. I know it's been a long time since that happened, but in order for this to be, you know, a valid entry, price would have had to have closed below this price right here. Since price closed like way up here, there's no entry right there for that point. Let me see if I could find one that's actually valid so that I can actually show you what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find these here because this doesn't fill it either. Okay, so this is an example right here. Actually, this is perfect because this is during US session. Okay, so for example here, when the following signal closes above the high of the previous signal candle, because obviously you know how the signal candles work, they're momentum swings, right? So we have a momentum swing downwards, momentum swing upwards. Right here, we have a momentum swing downwards. And then we have a momentum swing upwards, but it's a false signal, but it's closed above the previous signal right here. So in this situation, you can enter a long position right here on the high of this candle so that once price swings back up, because this is just a small retracement, once price swings back up, it'll fill your order and then you can hit TP. So it looks like it gets close to TP right there. I don't know if that would have hit. Probably not. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, your TP would probably be, it looks like it was really, really close. So your TP would probably be, well, actually your swing would be right here, about 230 if you want to be exact, you know, 230. And then it would have hit TP right there before coming back down. Because generally, if you're going to enter this trade, you put your stop loss at the previous swing right here, and then obviously would have hit TP right there. And then this is an example of you know what you just asked for, Lisa. So basically, when price closes above the previous signal like this, even though it's an invalid signal, you can still take it. You just put a buy stop there, so that once price swings back up, it fills your order, and then it shoots up in the direction that you were anticipating it to move. And that's pretty much it for that specific strategy right there for US 30. Going back to G over here, guys, it's doing exactly what I mentioned earlier, right? So I just saw the price difference right here. It's projecting off this point. If we get that sell signal, it's probably going to drop even further. So back at US 30 over here, I mean, we're still waiting for this. You know, like I mentioned, once it breaks the structure, this is going to be a critical structure point because this is the 1 hour zone. So if it breaks below here, it'll probably drop even further from here down to here. But if that's the case, then we're probably not going to take this trade because it's just way too risky. Unless we have like a nice buy signal that appears sometime within the next couple, I guess, hour or so. Because if price continues to move in that direction, We might be able to catch a later move if it does push down this far, but that's it's a huge like move down, right? From this point up until there, that's about 4,000 pips, I believe. From here to down here, that's 3,000 pips. And if it pulls into this structure down here, that's more than 4,000 pips. 5,000 if you bring it all the way down here. And price usually doesn't move like that during like one session. If that ever happens during one session, usually there's something in the market that's pushing price in that direction, because generally it only moves about 1,500 to maybe 3,000 pips max within a full range. So we'll see how this candle close out. Other than that, I think we will continue on with this moving forward. Let's see. Flynn said the news said that the Dow Jones is supposed to go up 300 points before Biden's inauguration. Lisa said if Trump announces hundreds of pardons, it may dump. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, guys. Like it's the inauguration is going on, plus like Trump is not ready to leave just yet. So stocks rise slightly on stimulus bets rebounding from a losing week. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So we have we have Janet Yellen speaking today as well. Biden won't lift Europe travel restrictions. So there's a lot of different things going on in the world. We have the inauguration coming. We have Trump still, trying to stay in house. We have COVID news. We have news in the UK. We have a lot of news going on that's affecting the market, one way or another. And that's, it's possibly what's causing this manipulation in the market. So you can see right here, like I mentioned earlier, if it breaks the structure, then it's probably going to continue down further. But you can see it's having a hard time breaking structure, right? We have the nice rejection off these really nice wicks right here, and then it's followed by a nice bullish candle right here. So if this happens right here, and we have the nice rejection off this point with a bullish candle, we're probably going to get a buy signal. And then if we get a buy signal, we can pretty much ride this on up to that point up there. So that's basically what we're waiting for here for the most part. It doesn't look like price is going to break below. This is a really strong 1 hour structure right here. So that's pretty much it for this right here. But I do agree with everything that everyone's, all the input that everyone's putting over here. Obviously there's going to be a lot of things that are affecting the market. And it's our job not to follow that hype. We have to wait for some sort of confirmation or wait for price to react to whatever news comes out, right? Because you don't want to enter a trade and then it ends up spiking up or it ends up spiking down on you before you enter that trade, and then you get caught in a bad trade because you jumped in too early. So looking at US 30 right here, this is going to be a key point. This is basically the price point where we would want to see if price breaks below it and closes or rejects off this point and swings back up. So got about a minute left on this candle. I'll probably continue watching this candle before we move forward with any questions. The next question we have is GBP odd from Osima. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat so I can analyze any pair that you guys want me to, because it looks like we have a pretty slow day today overall. Looks like everything's kind of playing out how we were analyzing earlier, as we anticipated some of these to come down. For example, here, I was mentioning that the pound index is coming down and the US dollar index is shooting up. So with that said, this is probably going to come down even further. I might even hop in for a sell right here to just ride this thing down as it comes down further. So we will continue to keep looking for that. We have about 50 seconds left on this candle. If this ends up closing above it, then I think it's going to reject off this point pretty nice. I think it's just going to end up shooting up from here. I might even take a speculative trade, just might take a small US 30 position for a buy so I could get in a little earlier. But we'll see how this plays out. All right, cool. Super Sam wants me to take a look at NASDAQ and Bitcoin, so I'll take a look at those two right there. Super Sam wants me to take a look at NASDAQ 100 and Bitcoin. Varun said probably it's showing wicks as it's starting to reject as buyers are pressuring it to go up. Yeah, exactly. That's what I see happening right here as well. So there we go. See, it did exactly what I mentioned, guys, right? I said it was going to come down, test the structure, and then bounce right off it. It's exactly what happened right here. So what we're waiting for now is just that buy signal, because it could possibly come back up. I mean, come back down, test the structure again before, shooting all the way up. But, like I mentioned earlier, this is pretty much what I said was going to happen, right? I said price was going to come down. It was going to test this 1 hour structure right here. And then it was probably going to shoot back up, provide for a buy signal. And then we could pretty much ride that wave back up. So look at that. It's playing out exactly like we mentioned. I probably should have just entered this trade because it played out just like how we were looking at it. Yeah, I'm like tempted to just enter this trade with like maybe a decent lot size, probably just enter a long position, stop loss down there. And pretty much, just ride it for the most part with no TP all the way up there. I mean, who knows, guys? The thing is, you don't want to jump into this trade too early, because we don't know what's going to happen as price continues to move. So like sentiment is still okay. So sentiment is now weakening because it looks like a lot of people are either getting scared and pulling out of the trade, or they're getting stopped out as we talk right now. So yeah, I might take a small position here. Let me just take like a small buy. It's a risky trade. Fuck it, I'm gonna take it. It's gonna take a all right, took that little buy right there. So let's see, I got in at 308.20. Stop loss at about 700 pips. 308.20. So guys, I took like a speculative buy. I didn't necessarily anticipate much right here. I'm in profit about 200 bucks already. That was quick. I think it's a 10 lot, which is like equivalent to a 1 lot on normal. So I'm in profit about 100 bucks right now. So it's looking pretty decent. But yeah, I'm gonna let this run. I'm just gonna pretty much I'm gonna take it, and then I'm not gonna touch it. Let me see where the stop loss is. 37.50. No TP there. All right, cool. So I'm in the position right now, guys. Obviously, we don't have a valid entry just yet. I just took a trade just because it played out exactly how I thought it would play out. Let me see if I could possibly show you guys over here. Yeah, so you guys can see right here on my FTMO, I'm in profit 100. I mean, on my MC4, I'm in profit about 200 bucks now. Obviously, this is my funded account. It's my 100K. I'm in profit. So looks good so far. You guys can see that I actually took that trade. I'm not just bullshitting, telling you guys that I'm, taking trades, and I'm not. I actually took the trade. But I'm waiting for that buy signal. Once I get that buy signal, then I'm going to enter an even bigger lot. I'm going to double up on my lots, and then I'm going to continue on further. So you guys saw my profits right there. I'm in profit about 200 something now. Looks good so far. And we'll see how this, ends up playing out from this point. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Flynn said, damn, that's a strong rejection off that 1 hour on K2SR. Yeah, definitely. That's why I use the 1 hour, guys. I mean, you can use the 4 hour, but your zones are probably going to be like way too far from that point. A Rose is asking, what's a good time to trade US 30? Best time would be London and US session, because that's when the volatility is the highest. Dilraj is asking, Shawn, are you going to use the new strategy for this trade, or are you still using the original one? Not sure if you responded to this earlier because I had to leave the stream for a bit. Yeah, so I'm still using the old one. For the new one, price would have to close like way up here. It's probably not going to happen. So I'm probably not going to use that. I use this rejection point as my confirmation. We had the nice rejection off here because earlier I identified this like before we even got to this point, right? Like price was like way up here, and I said price was going to come down, test this structure right here, and then swing back up. And that's exactly what happened. So that's why I took that trade, because this analysis right here played out perfectly. And that's why we're probably going to avoid the other strategy right here, because we're pretty much just waiting for this buy signal right here. If this ends up having a nice rejection off this point followed by a buy signal, it's probably going to push up pretty heavy. So that's basically what I'm looking for over here for US 30. Let's see if there's anything else over here before we continue on further. Nice. Yes, C6 said I'm in currently 224 profit. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, and Flynn mentioned also that this is a bullish engulfing candle. So if you guys understand how engulfing candles work, this is a classic price action move right here. You can see the body of this bullish candle right here pretty much engulf this previous bearish candle right here. This is indicating a basic price action move for a momentum swing upward. So we have the rejection right here, momentum swing upwards. If we have a buy signal, then we can anticipate that to shoot up even further. So it looks good pretty much for the most part right now. And yeah, I mean, I'm in profit right now. Let's see. I'm in profit about 120. It's like bouncing back and forth. I was in profit like 200 bucks earlier. I took a 10 lot on this, which is equivalent to a standard lot on a normal account. So looks good so far for the most part. Ezra said US politics is really, really strong on the financial markets. All currencies are still relaxing. Yeah, I could see that too. There's not really too much going on for the most part on the the currency market. It's just really slow. I marked this one up earlier. It's barely moved. Same with this one right here, barely moved as well. But yeah, overall, I think we have and we're gonna see what's gonna happen from here. Our GJ is back and it's swinging back up again. So thankfully, it's back in profit. But our main focus right now is just US 30 for the most part. Yeah, exactly, Ezra. U.S. economies. Ezra said U.S. economy really controls the world. Yeah, definitely. It's world power. And, with the inauguration tomorrow and Biden coming into the House, it's going to make a huge impact on the market. So we'll see how that plays out. I think this is going to shoot up eventually. Looking at CNBC right here, let's see if there's any breaking news. Overall, the indices are bullish. The Dow Jones is bullish. S&P is bullish. NASDAQ is bullish. Russell 2000 is bullish. The only thing that's bearish is the VIX. Which doesn't necessarily move directional with US 30 anyway, so that's fine. Other than that, I don't really see any other news playing out that really affects the market overall. So, back to what we were looking at over here, I think the next pair that we have on the list is GBP odd for Mosima, and then we have NASDAQ 100 and Bitcoin for Super Sam. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I will analyze these first two pairs right now, and then we'll continue on forward. So first off, we have GA, I believe. Yeah, GA for Mosima. So I'm gonna pull up GA over here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything off the chart, zoom out from this point, turn off the momentum indicator and draw my zones. So we got everything set up right here. There. There. There and right there. All right, we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide the indicator. You guys can see that we have some nice zones drawn on the chart right here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the momentum indicator. So we have a bullish momentum right here, but price is obviously just ranging. This is the same analysis that I was discussing yesterday, right? So we did talk about this yesterday, not just yesterday, but I think the entire week. Like for example, right here, we have a nice rejection off this point right here. So it's just establishing higher highs, rejection point, obviously a buy signal. What happens from there is it pushes up to the next structure right here. Rejection off this point, comes back down for a retest right here. So basically retested structure right here, rejection, buy signal, and now we're anticipating price to close above here, Mosima. So until price closes above this structure right here, there's not really going to be an entry because we're waiting for that confirmation before we take this trade. So once price ends up pushing above here, then we can take a long position. and pretty much ride that to the next structure up there for about 65 pips. But until then, no entry, because price is obviously consolidating sideways. Until it breaks above the structure, we'll have that full confirmation. So back to US 30 over here, that buy signal came up just like I mentioned, guys. So everything is playing out exactly how we analyzed US 30 for today, right? I analyzed that price was going to come down from this point, test this 1 hour structure, and then reject off it. It did exactly as I thought. And then I said that this was a strong bullish candle. So, eventually as it moves up here, we're probably going to get a buy signal. So right here, that buy signal is starting to play out. And obviously, if you know how to identify the markets, like, actually identify structure and things in the market, you're able to predict that this signal is going to come here, right? So I predicted this buy signal is going to come up way before it even came up. Like I predicted it way up here. I said price was going to come down, reject off this structure, and then provide a buy signal where we can take a buy and pretty much ride this up from there, right? So this just goes to show that if you guys, practice every day and you guys are able to like read the charts properly, you guys can identify these things before they even happen. So just looking at this right here, that is pretty much what we're looking for right now. So let me go back to GA over here. I'm going to come back to this in about 8 minutes. We have 8 minutes left on the candle. If this ends up closing, we'll be able to take this specific entry over here for the daily entry. So back at GA over here, this is pretty much what I analyzed earlier, Mosima. We want price to break above the structure. Once it breaks above the structure, we can take a long position. I mean, the main problem with GA right now is that it's just consolidating, right? There's not really much going on with GA right now. It's just literally going sideways from this point right here. So until it breaks above here, we're not going to take an entry. Or vice versa, if it ends up swinging down this direction, we can take an entry in this direction as well. So we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out, because this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue up from here, right? Because if it doesn't end up swinging up there, you guys can keep in mind that we have we have a rejection off here as well. Rejection off here. If we get a sell signal somewhere down here, price comes down, provides a sell signal. Then instead of taking that buy, we can take a short instead. So that's pretty much us analyzing it from both perspectives. But currently it's just within a range right now. So we have to wait for price to either break above this point or break below this point. So one or the other will determine, which direction we trade it. But until that happens, we're probably just going to hold tight and wait for that to play out. Back at US 30, nothing there. Okay, so I'm done with GA right now. We have another question from Nazareth, who's asking. Nazareth is asking for your USD. Let's see. Peter said, Shawn, can you predict the Powerball numbers? I wish, bro. Who knows, man? Maybe if you pull up some charts for like the previous Powerball numbers, we'll apply the K² strategy to it. Pretty sure they'll play out properly. So looking at this right here, we have 6 minutes left on this US 30. We're just waiting for this to play out. I think my position is looking nice right now. I'm in profit about 300 something right now. So let me see. Yeah, I'm in profit about 330 bucks right here. This is my FTML funded account, the 100K. And it's looking good so far, guys. So pretty much gonna let this run. Obviously it got resets with 100,000 because I took that withdrawal recently. I think I posted it over here in the chat. My payout from last week was, or not even last week, I think a couple days ago. My payout was about, 3,527. So I took 0 rollover on that specific account. So that's why it's back to 100K. But it's looking nice. I'm in profit like nearly 500 now. It was like at 470 and it came back down with this wick right here. But we'll see how it ends up playing out as we continue to watch it. So that's it for that right there. We're basically just waiting for this. Sorry, my dog keeps. Hi, can you stop? What's wrong with you? He needs to go out for his walk. Anyways, so back here at US 30, I'm just waiting for this to close here in the next 5 minutes. If it closes, we'll take that buy entry. Otherwise we'll just keep hanging on until then. Nice. Profit's at about 1,500 now. I mean, not 1,500, it's at 500. But we're trying to shoot for that 1,500 pip if this ends up closing right there. So before I analyze anything further, we're going to wait for this to close out right here, and then we'll be able to take this trade. So let's see if anything here plays out. So we got GA over here. We already analyzed that. We have NASDAQ 100 for Super Sam, Bitcoin, and then Euro USD. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm probably gonna wait for this to close before I analyze anything further, because we don't want to miss this this entry right here. Skilltrade said, how long you looking to hold that speculative trade, Shawn? I'm thinking of entering at the next psychological level, 31,000, which happens to coincide with the top of the current structure. So if we get a buy signal here, I'm going to hold on to it throughout that entry, Skillstrade. I'm taking this, plus I'm taking the I'm going to take the entry for the day as well. So I'm taking both entries. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I'm going to keep holding until this is probably going to hit full TP as well. So I'll be holding both positions as we move forward with this here. Josh said, I have a feeling it's going to hit TP1. Shawn may test that upper zone. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we'll see. Or it might just break right through it. So once we have a rejection like this after market open, it usually just ends up playing out. Because, like I mentioned, it usually moves in two waves, right? So we had the first wave right here where it came down, and then we have the second wave right here. There's usually two impulse moves for US 30 during the US session. And it looks like that first impulse move already happened. And then now it's pushing back up. Let's see. Flynn said bullish engulfing at support, rejection from support, lines up with Fibonacci and fundamental analysis news confirmation. This is a good buy for US 30. Yeah, I agree too, Flynn. That's why I'm going to double up on a position once we get to that point right here. So I'm going to wait for this to obviously play out. And then from that point, nice. Profits are looking nice for my MT4. So I'm in profit now, 530. You guys saw me take this trade live on my account. I'm up about pretty nice for the week because we had that win yesterday, and we have this right here as well. And then I'm gonna double up my position once we get to the we get that buy signal. So hopefully this buy signal closes. We have about 2 minutes left on the candle. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to be patient with it because market loves to play games right now, especially with this heavy news going on. Let's see what everyone else is saying right here. Josh said I entered at 5 minute with a 10-minute close. Just means got an earlier entry. Yeah, definitely. Early entry for sure. Josh's target is 31,040. It's not bad. TP1. Yeah, it's for about like 700 pips, I'm assuming. Yeah, it looks about right. Looks good right there. Flynn said US 30 made its impulse move down to shake out the buyers. Then it made the real move up. Exactly, Flynn, 100%. That's exactly what we identified. And then Flynn said, if you double down, you have to play the horns twice as much. Exactly, Flynn, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna let this run. Let's see how this plays out. We have about a minute left on this candle, so I'm gonna set up the alert real quick before we continue on with this one. So let me see, US 30 buy. So we got that right there. I got this set up right here, just in case we end up taking that entry. I got my MT4 over here ready for another buy if that ends up being the case. Got 30 seconds left on the clock, guys. 30 seconds. We got 25 seconds left on the clock, guys. I'm gonna count that down, see how it plays out right here. We got 20 seconds. We got 15 seconds. We got 10 seconds. And we got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. No signal, guys. So it looks like we're gonna be waiting for the next one over here. We didn't get that signal on that one, so I'm not gonna re-enter the trade just yet. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this ends up playing out. So I think we're going to hold off on this temporarily. We're going to wait for this to close out. So I'm going to analyze the pairs real quick before we continue on with this. So our next analysis is NASDAQ for Super Sam. So let me pull up NASDAQ real quick. NASDAQ over here. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything off the chart. And I don't know if my dog does that. He's always like trying to find a spot. Trying to find a little spot to hang out while we're trading. So, all right, looking at NASDAQ right here. I'm gonna turn on the K2SR levels right here. Draw my zones. Let's see. So look at this right here. All right, so I got my zones lined up right here on the 1 hour. Turn that off right there. Go back on the 10-minute. So looking at this right here, let me see this right here at this point. So we have a pending buy signal right here. I mean, it hasn't closed yet, but it is pending. So we have a pending buy signal right here. We have a rejection off this point. I think if it closes as a valid buy, then we'll probably see that push up from that point. So we have a rejection from this point right here. We have a pending buy signal right here. You know, we would need this to be a valid buy, and then we need it to close above this structure. If it ends up closing above this structure right here, let me make it smaller. So let's delete this. Let's make it a little smaller so it's easier for you guys to see. So like, for example, right here, we have this rejection off this point, right? We have a pending buy. Obviously, it hasn't filled yet. Once it's closed and we have that buy that's set up there, then we would want price to basically close above this structure right here. So, you know, basically what we're looking at here is rejection, possible buy signal, break above structure, and then pretty much ride this on the way up. So that's basically what I would be anticipating for NASDAQ right now. Obviously, it's just ranging within this zone right here. So until that happens, we're probably not going to see much happen for this specific asset. So Super Sam right here, basically it's just going sideways, right? Because it's just going down. So what happened was it came down, tested the structure, came back up, tested the structure. It's coming back down, probably going to retest the structure before it either, you know, breaks above or breaks below here. So those are the main things you're looking for here. But, you know, obviously right here, it's just ranging. So you can see that it ranged sideways from here, broke below to this structure, and then now it's ranging sideways from here. So from this point, it's either going to correct back up, then possibly range or head up further, or it'll probably come down and do the same thing down here. Either go sideways or drop down from this point. So you can see here for NASDAQ, there's a ton of different scenarios right here. It's kind of hard for you to really determine what direction it'll move because it's just going sideways. If it was moving up, then you can anticipate this to continue up further, right? So like using, you know, previous data as an example. So this is just, it's a risky thing to trade right now because it's going sideways. But if you're looking at this from how it happened previously, over here, you can see price broke structure, but it was bullish, right? So it broke structure, continued up further, broke structure again, continued up further until it got to this point, and then it came back down into this consolidation phase. So until it breaks up again, then we could possibly see that continuing up further, or, you know, vice versa. If it doesn't end up swinging up like that and ends up coming down to here, then we could probably anticipate that to come down from this point as well. So you know, until price breaks out of this range, then I wouldn't really look at it that importantly, because last thing you want to do is enter a long position and then it ends up coming down, stop you out, right? Or vice versa, you enter a long position or you enter a short position right here, and then it ends up swinging up and it stops you out this way. So I would wait for it to close above here or down here. That way you can catch that ride in that direction or this direction as well. That's pretty much it for NASDAQ right there. You know, until it breaks out of the structure then, or this range, then I wouldn't really take that trade just yet. Looking at US 30 right here, if we get a false signal right here, then I'm probably not going to take it. And we're probably just going to skip it for today, obviously, right? But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We have about 4 minutes left on this candle, so we still have a lot of time. There's not really any confirmation that it's either going to come down or it's going to come up from that point. So we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. Let me see if there's anything else here. Razul said, "Let's hope Trump does not tweet anything dumb." Sisu said he's in no-go zone for posting in the U.S. all across social media. Yeah, definitely that's true. Yeah, and Sisu said the people are more responsible for posting. I agree, regardless of party. Skills Trade said the waters here are almost too calm. LOL. It's beginning to feel eerie with how well it's going by our predictions. Yeah, right. Skill Trade's playing out like exactly like how we've been identifying for the most part. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty much just waiting for this to close here. We have about 3 minutes left on this candle. If this doesn't close with a bullish candle, then we'll just have to wait for the next signal to appear. But if it does close, we can take this entry. So that's pretty much what we're waiting for here. There's really no rush to it. We're just being patient and waiting for that entry to really avail itself, because we don't want to rush into this trade. We obviously we don't need to rush into the trade. We're just waiting for that confirmation before we end up taking it for the most part. So let me see how this plays out. Arash is asking, "Hey Shawn, I just want to know the K2 momentum works on 1 minute time frame." Yeah, it works on all time frames. You can use it on the 1 minute. The momentum's still there. You can use it on the 5 minute. It's still there. You can use it on the daily. It's still there. You can use it on the monthly. You can use it on the 1 second, and it's still there. It doesn't matter what you trade on. As long as there's momentum in the market, you can identify momentum, right? 1 minute, 15 second, 30 second. The 1 minute you mentioned, it works on anything and everything. So let's see. No, I wouldn't take it as a buy stop, Rowan, because it doesn't fulfill the requirement. If we were going to take that buy stop, it'd have to close above this price right here. So it still doesn't fulfill that requirement for the new strategy. So I wouldn't take the buy stop there if that was the case. If this ends up closing like this, then I might close my my active position, because it's just a risky thing to hold. If I'm holding something that's an invalid signal and then it ends up going the opposite direction, I can always exit and I'll probably re-enter at another time. But if this closes like this, then it becomes a risky trade to hold, because it can swing down from that point. So I'm going to hold off on looking at anything new right now, guys, until this finishes. Once this candle right here closes, then I'll look at the pairs that you guys asked for. Super Sam wants Bitcoin and Nazareth wants your USD. So once I'm done analyzing this right here, then I will probably move on to those. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat so I can analyze, whatever pairs you guys want me to. Otherwise, we will be pretty much just watching this and then analyzing the other pairs that have been asked for already. And is my thing? Seems like my MT4 is frozen. What the heck? Log back into this again. This is what I don't like about MT4, guys. It's just what the fuck? It's weird. Let me pull it up on my phone, because my MT4 on my phone is definitely frozen. It's weird. It's frozen on my phone too. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, this is weird. I pull it up on the 1 hour. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my MT4. I don't know if your guys' MT4 is frozen too, but mine's definitely frozen. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's frozen on my phone and on my computer. Oh, whatever. I mean, I'm still in the trade. Freaking suck. I was trying to close my trade, but I don't know what's going on with it. All right, whatever. I'm gonna leave it like that. So yeah, going back to the chat over here. Peter said, off topic, when are you getting the Tesla wrap? So Peter, I was supposed to get a wrap last week. I actually dropped off my car last Monday. But the problem was the car shop that I dropped it off at, they had their workers got COVID. So they had to disinfect my car, and then I had to take my car back until they get the whole shop disinfected. So I'm probably gonna get it done by hopefully this week. I mean, the goal was to get it done by this week, by this weekend. But I mean, we'll see. I'm not really going to rush it, because if they do have COVID, I'd rather them just wrap my car when the COVID is done, rather than try to rush it, because it's just too risky for them to really play out like that. So. All right. Anyways, we're still looking at US 30 right now, waiting for this to close. Obviously, this isn't closed. We have 8 minutes left on this candle. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the pairs that everyone asked for. So let's see. Super Sam wants Bitcoin, and then Nazareth wants Euro USD. So I'm going to take a look at those right now, and then we will continue on forward with our other analysis over here. So let me see if there's anything else here that we're looking at. Yeah, so I think that's about it for this right here. Let me go ahead and take a look at everything else before we continue forward. Victor is asking, Shawn, do you use FXCM to trade TradingView? No, I use Forex.com. So for all of my Forex trades, I use Forex.com. For all my indices, I use currency.com data. That's pretty much what I use on mine. I used to I used FXCM a long time ago, but their data is really flawed, so I don't use their data anymore. And US 30 is still like bouncing around here. Let me see. Yeah, Rune said US 30 is going nuts right now. It is, and my FTMO is still frozen for whatever freaking reason. So annoying. Let's see. Yeah, I wonder what's up with FTMO. I've never had this issue before where price froze up like that. I kind of want to, whatever, I'm just gonna let it run. It'll refresh at some point. Hopefully they don't send us some stupid email saying that something happened, because that's usually what's going to come. But let me see if there's anything else here real quick. All right, cool. So I think that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at everything else. Victor said, I do not see it on the available brokers on TradingView. Victor, for the brokers on TradingView, they should be there. Let me see. So if I go here to the page, go to brokers. Oh, it's not on here. You have to go up to on the chart. So let me see if I can find it over here. If you go down here on this one over here, let me see if I can log out of this one. So I'm not going to log out of here because I have active positions, but if you click down here, you can see FXCM. They have all the brokers down there. Victor, I'm not sure if you've used it before, but if you click down here, it'll show you the brokers that you can choose from. Let me see if I could probably open another window. Let's see if I can open a window up here, because I don't want to mess up my charts that I have open already. So open chart. All right, so here's another window for TradingView. If you click right here, FXCM is right there, Victor. So you click on trading panel down here, and it has all the brokers that you can list on here: Paper Trading, Trade08, Iron Beam, AMP, Oanda, etc. Forex.com, what I use, and then they have FXCM right here. So if you wanted to log into this, you click connect, and then you type in your information from there. So, all right, let me go back to what we were looking at right now. All right, so you guys said it's back to normal. Let me pull mine up real quick to see how it's looking. Okay, I see it, yeah. So the FTMO is loaded back up, guys. If you guys still were wondering, thanks for confirming, Billy. Looks like it pulled back slightly. I'm still in profit, like 300 or 400 bucks actually right now, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it looks good for the most part. Yeah, C-Suke said they might be switching over servers, which is what I think too, because this is what happened when they switched servers the first time. It went down for temporarily and then it came right back up. It's kind of weird. But all right, so I think that's it for here. I think the next thing we're going to look at is Bitcoin for Super Sam. So I'm going to pull up Bitcoin real quick right here. Damn, Bitcoin's super bullish. Oh, we're on the 10 minutes. Why? Can you go back on the 4-hour? I mean, it's still pretty bullish overall. So I'm going to delete everything off the chart. Looks like we have structure up here. Yeah, structure right there. Structure right here. Right there. There and right there. All right, cool. So it looks good from that part. I'm gonna take that off from here. Looking at Bitcoin right here, Super Sam. I mean, obviously it looks pretty bullish to me. If I pull up the momentum indicator, damn, look at these spikes for US 30. It's going crazy right now. So we'll see how this plays out from this point. Yeah, US 30 is moving pretty crazy right now, guys. If you guys were following it from earlier, it's literally been spiking back and forth. Like obviously it's spiked from up here to down here for like 2,000 pips. And then now it's spiking from here up to here for like 1,000 pips. And then it spiked from this point to this point down here with just a few minutes, right? It's only been like, let's see, it's been 1, 2, 3. So like within 20 to 30 minutes, it spiked down another 1,000 pips. So US 30 is moving pretty crazy right now. So just back at Bitcoin again, sorry about that, Super Sam. So like right here, we have the rejection point from here. We have a false buy signal right here, but it's still swung up. So at this point, we probably anticipate this to push up further to test the structure where it can either break above it or swing back down. So this is pretty much what we see happening for Bitcoin. You know, obviously Bitcoin doesn't always respect structure, but it's within a price point where it's actually, you know, it's within a range right now. It's ranging within here and down here. Generally, Bitcoin will shoot above and there'll be no above structure, right? That's why it'll push up and then you don't know where it's going to reject from because there's no upper structure. But price is coming back to retest this previous structure it tested on the 14th. And then again, right here on the 8th, where it can possibly test this structure, break above, and then either continue up or reject down from this point. So this is pretty much what we see happening right here for something like this. So that's Bitcoin. And that's pretty much all I see from here. You know, obviously I see a bullish bias right here. And even if it was to come back down, it might come back down for a retest, but I don't think it's going to come down since we do have that buy signal right there. So I do anticipate this to continue up for continue on forward from this point, or I mean, it might come down, retest the structure, and then swing back up. But obviously, it's going to have a bullish bias overall until, you know, something really happens in the market that would cause it to you know, possibly go in the other direction. But I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. But for me right now, my bias is going to be a bullish bias. For one, because we have the rejection from here. For two, because we have this bullish signal right here. And then for three, we haven't tested this structure yet. So until price tests that structure up there, then I will probably anticipate, you know, some sort of rejection. But yeah, that's pretty much what I see there for Bitcoin. Let's see if there's anything else here to look at before we continue. Flynn said US 30 is behaving like my ex, unpredictable. Yeah, exactly. It's moving pretty crazy right now. I'm just looking at the price percentage right here. It's literally going from like 20 to 25 to like 30 to like 40. It's going back and forth like crazy. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see how this ends up playing out, but it is moving pretty insane right now. It's literally all over the place. So we'll see how this plays out. Let's see if there's news right now. Actually, there might be something that's causing it to spike around like that. I mean, the main thing right now is Janet Yellen speaking during her confirmation. So I don't know if she's saying something to cause the market to spike around like crazy. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. Yeah, because she's getting moved to Treasury Secretary by Joe Biden. So she was in the scene a lot during COVID, with regard to the Fed. But now she's getting moved up to Treasury Secretary. So we'll see how that plays out. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Who knows? But I mean, it wouldn't really matter. We're still going to trade regardless. So we'll see how that plays out. Here we go. US 30 back up again, thankfully. And we'll see how this plays out. So that's it for Bitcoin. Analyze Bitcoin for you, NASDAQ, for Super Sam and NASDAQ. So I think we're done with your questions there. Our next question is from Nazareth. He wants us to take a look at Euro USD. So I'm going to pull up Euro USD on another chart over here. That's pretty clean. Let me see. Euro USD is right here. Let's refresh this right here. Something that I was testing yesterday. So I'll pull back up Euro USD right here. Looking at Euro USD, it looks like price is currently, let me see, this on the 4-hour, lay everything off the chart. So we got some, let's take everything off here first real quick, just so we can take a look at how price is moving. So obviously right here, you can see price has, it's establishing lower highs, right? So like, for example, here we have the high, we have the low, we have the, so I'm just gonna delete this. The lower high, lower low, lower high. And then I would anticipate this to, drop from this point right here, probably by the next candle close. So we're on the 4-hour right here. We have about an hour and 47 minutes left on this candle. So it's a lot of time for it to come down from this point, but this is pretty much what I see happening over here for Euro USD. I'm gonna go ahead and draw my zones on the chart so you guys can see what I'm looking at with regard to structure. So looking at Euro USD right here, we have this upper structure right here. We have this lower structure right here. This one right here. This one right there. Right there. Right there. And then we have these lower ones right here that they're not really relevant because they're so far from current price, but they're good to know for when price, ends up reaching that level down there. Because obviously, once price closes below structure down here, it'll probably be a bit of a free fall as it continues dropping. So looking at this right here, turn that off, it's a momentum indicator. So currently we have a weak rejection from this point. Zoom out from here real quick. All right, so looking at this right here, obviously you can see it's in a downtrend, right? So looking at Euro USD right here, it's obviously in a downtrend. So confirmation 1, it's a downtrend. Confirmation 2, it's been establishing lower highs, like I mentioned, a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high right there. And this actually lines up perfectly with the lower highs that I was just drawing, right? So I drew the high right here. I drew the low right here, lower high right here, lower low right there, lower high right here lines up perfectly with this zone, right? The zone and the lower high right here lines up exactly like how we mentioned. So for this right here, this is pretty much what I see happening for Euro USD. I see it rejecting off this point and then coming back down. Currently right here, we have a weak rejection right here. The reason why it's weak is because it rejected off. It just rejected. There was no structure that it rejected off. It just literally came up. So this looks like a temporary pullback right here. So for example, right here, I anticipate this to reject off this structure and come back down. The reason for that is because the downwards movement is super strong. So right here we have the drop start from this point, so this is a weak drop, right? So this is the drop where it was actually rejecting off structure. So it rejected off structure right here after it broke structure, and then down here, it came down, rejected off this point, swung back up for a retracement, rejected off this point. We had a sell signal right here. And then once we got a sell signal right here, it ended up pushing to the structure down here, right? So once that happened right there, we have a small little weak retracement from this point. So a little retracement. We have another strong rejection off this structure right here. So from this point, if we get a sell signal similar to what happened right here, we can anticipate a nice drop to happen from this point over here, right? So that's basically what I see happening over here for Euro USD. And looking at the dollar index, you can see right here that the Euro index is kind of weak. You can see that it's starting to go sideways before coming down. You can see that this bullish candle right here is super weak, and then this current candle is red. It's a bearish candle. So if this happens right here where it continues to drop and the dollar index continues to push up, then we can anticipate this to pretty much go down in this direction. But if they're all going in the same direction, so if this is going up slightly and this is going up slightly, they're like small green candles or small red candles, then we'll probably see this go sideways for a bit before it ends up dumping from that point. So that's pretty much what I see happening here for Euro USD. Obviously, it has a bullish bias right now, but if it fails to break this structure, which it looks like, it's establishing a double top right here. It's a rejection, come back down, retest, rejection off this point, double top. From that point, I anticipate it to come down here. So that's pretty much what I see happening here for Euro USD. And that's why I'm not too worried about it. I'm still holding on to it. It's pretty much letting it do what it's going to do from that point. Damn, Euro USD is like moving on. I mean, US 30 is like all over the place, guys. we're probably going to hold off on entering this trade today if this ends up playing out like this, because this has moved a lot from market open. Like I mentioned earlier, market opened up here and it dropped like 2,000 pips. Then from this drop right here, it shot up within like 20 minutes, like over 1,000 pips. And then from this point, another like few minutes later, it dropped another 1,000 pips. So it's literally bouncing back and forth 1,000 pips. And that just makes it risky because, you know, if we're taking our entry, it's going to be 1,500 pips. So if it's bouncing 100 pips, 1,000 pips every like 20, 30 minutes, this is going to cause a lot of people to get spiked out of the trade, right? Not necessarily us, but looking at the sentiment over here, you guys can see that earlier it was above 60%. Now it's back to 60%. So they're luring in more sellers into this trade as price continues to drop further. So you can see that 60% of people are now short. That's probably what caused this drop, because a lot of people entered a short position. But you know what might happen here is it's probably going to reject off this point and then shoot right back up to stop everyone out. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it spikes off this point and then stops everyone out, because you know, just the way that price is moving, it's a really risky time to damn, look at the spike right here, guys. So there's a spike right here, but we're gonna wait and see if this actually closes below this structure, because like I mentioned earlier, if you watched the session from this morning, I said if it closed below the structure, then it'll probably continue dropping further, right? However, if we have that wick where it doesn't end up dropping, it'll end up spiking up from here. But damn, look at this drop, guys. Mark is moving crazy. So I'm looking at this chart. I'm looking at my other chart. Yeah, the pricing on this is just all over the place, because you can see from this point now, price dropped from here to here for 2,100 pips. It spiked up from this point right here for 1,200 pips. And then it spiked up from this point another 1,300 pips. So it's whipsawing over 1,000 pips every like 20, 30 minutes. And this is probably, we'll see how this ends up closing. We have about 50 seconds left on this clock. If this ends up wicking upwards up to here, then it's probably going to reject back up again for another push up. So this is it's definitely a risky thing to trade right now, because you know, generally people don't have wide stop losses for US 30, right? They have stop loss at about 500 pips. So if you're entering, like, say if you follow this drop right here, right? Say you wanted to chase this little drop and then it spiked up 500 pips, you would have gone stopped out. Again, same situation. If you tried to enter another long right here, it would have stopped you out this way as well. And then if you wanted to enter another short, it would stop you out this way as well. So literally it's stopping out people in both directions, whether they're taking longs or short positions, in either way, because this the market's just crazy right now. Let me check the news. I'm like trying to figure out what's causing these like crazy spikes in price. The only thing I saw on CNBC is that Yellen was talking. So she's still speaking right now. I'm not sure if she's the one that's causing these spikes in price, but we'll check that out. Crazy, crazy movement right there. Look at that. So close below right there, and then see if people are entering sells right here, they usually put their stop loss like 500 pips above. They probably would have gone stopped out right here, or they're about to be stopped out as it spikes back up. And some crazy market conditions right now. Yeah, this is just way too risky to trade today. So we're probably gonna avoid US 30 today, guys, because of the way it's moving, right? It's just spiking back and forth. Like, see, the thing is, if we enter a trade here, we can easily get wicked out because it's getting spiked back and forth. Like if we were to enter a short position here, we probably would have gone stopped out if it pushed up, to this point. Vice versa, if you're entering a long position here, you probably would have gone stopped out in this direction as well, because we'd have 1,500 pips as your stop loss, and then it'd probably be right here. So they're just stopping people out in both directions. It's just too risky to really take right now. Sentiment is about 60%. It's crazy to see sentiment change like this so fast. We checked earlier this morning when the market opened around 7, sentiment was above 60%. Then it went from 60% to 58% because people are getting stopped out. And then it went back to 60% now because people are trying to hop back into that little spike downwards. So with this spike in price downwards, I think price will probably spike back up because they're going to try to stop these people back out. Yeah, guys, it's just way too risky today. So yeah, that's pretty much what I analyzed for your USD, Nazareth and Anna. Sorry guys, I'm going back and forth because I'm so intrigued with like US 30 right here. It's just moving so crazy that yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with US 30. I'm gonna keep watching it, but it is moving pretty crazy right now. I think they're gonna spike price up again, up to here, to stop people out. Because obviously, look, if I rewind the clock over here, you can see that when this drop right here happened, right, and price came down to here, I'm sure people, it's like you can see how that candle dropped, right? So from this one right here, after this drop, it was another strong red candle. With that strong red candle right there, I'm sure some people entered some short positions right here because they thought price was going to continue back down, right? They thought it was going to continue down further. So at this point, they'll enter this position here. They have their stop loss at about 500 pips right there. They probably would have gone stopped out, right, if they enter this trade. Vice versa. At this point, this big rejection right here, well, what are people probably going to do? Most people would probably enter a long position right here because they're like, oh, it's going to reject right off it, right? They have their stop loss like right here, right below structure at about 600 pips, and then they get stopped out again. So whoever was chasing this trade right here would have got stopped out the first time, then stopped out again right here. And what do you think happened at this point? When they see this drop right here, they're like, oh, okay, cool. It's probably going to come back down. They got stopped out once over here, twice over here. And this third time over here, they're like, all right, this has got to work this time, right? So they enter right here. Stop loss is about 500 pips. It runs and then it pushes down a little bit. So they're like, all right, it's got to come up from this point, right? And then it shoots up and spikes them out again. So if you were chasing these like crazy movements, you probably would have gone stopped out a bunch of times. And then again, right here, right? If you were just looking at this from this analysis, you're like, oh, it's in a bullish trend, obviously, right? Rejected off this point, it has to come up. So from that point, someone enters another long position right here. Their stop loss is right there, about 500 pips. What happens? They get stopped out again. So this is what I mean about it being dangerous, guys. And that's why we have a wide stop loss when you trade. We don't get stopped out for these small little moves right here. Because even if we were to enter this trade right here, our stop loss would be at 1,500 down here. We'd be completely fine. Same thing with this over here. If we entered a short position right here, like down here, we would be fine because our stop loss would be at 1,500. So there's a reason why we have a stop loss this wide. It's not because we just put a wide stop loss. It's because we don't want to get caught in these little whipsaw movements that are going on in the market right now. Since a lot of people hopped in on that sell, like I mentioned earlier, so we have 60% of people short. I think price is going to swing back up to stop these people out. Look at that right there. Bullish candle. So yeah, this is pretty much, I mean, I wouldn't this is all emotional trading right here, guys. I'm sure whoever entered this trade like would have gone stopped out once here, once here, once here, once here, and then again right here, bro. Like I'm sure when this broke structure right here, people were like, oh yeah, for sure it's got to drop at that point, right? So they did that. Their stop loss is at about 500 pips. Look at this, hit their stop loss. If this is like someone's entry right here, look at that freaking, look at that candle, guys. It's crazy, right? Watch, it's gonna go up, hit 50 pips, and then what's gonna happen from that point? Drop right back down. This is a US 30 is just it's a crazy thing to trade right now, guys. I'm officially not trading US 30 even if we get that signal, because the volatility is just too crazy right now. It's something that you can't really control, with regard to your position down. It's crazy. It's crazy how much it dropped at that point. So just looking at this right here, guys, we'll just keep watching it. But other than that, I think that's about it for this. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I think that's it for our analysis today, unless you guys have something to look at. Otherwise, I'll stay on with you guys for a bit. I'll keep watching US 30 for a couple more minutes, and then I'm probably just gonna go off because I don't want to keep watching it. If I watch it, it's going to tempt me to want to take some trades. And that's the last thing I want to do, especially with the market moving like this. I'm just excited. I kind of want to see this come up and stop these people out right here, whoever entered the short position. Just want to see it play out. And the market's always playing games on people. And this is why sometimes it's better for you to not trade, because if the market's doing this, they're just looking to stop people out. They know that a bunch of people are gambling today because they're all betting on the inauguration tomorrow. They're like, oh, is US 30 going to go up or is US 30 going to go down? So what they're doing is they're just spiking price up and down. The institutions are like, oh, we'll stop this person out. Let's spike him up real quick and let's spike it down real quick. They're literally just messing with all these retail traders who are trying to predict this move, right? There's really no way to predict the move, guys. It's all about waiting to see how price reacts to the news and then making a move from there. But I mean, currently right now, this is pretty much what we're looking at right now. Here, let's see if there's anything else here before we continue. Let's see. Damn, look at that. It's going to play out exactly like I was mentioning. It's going to spike all the way up. Let me go through here real quick and see if there's anything else that I'm looking at real quick. Let's see. Varun said, so when it stabilizes, it can give a clear momentum. Yeah, exactly. Skillstrate said EU Elliott wave and corrections almost textbook. Yeah, definitely Skillstrate. That's what I noticed too for EU. Razul said, damn, US 30 so erratic. Definitely, bro. It's dropping, it's spiking around like thousands of pips per 10-minute candle. Lisa said US 30 looks like it's testing support a second time. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought too. And then this was a fake out right here to lure in some sellers. See, like it's gonna spike up to that point. Obviously, we didn't take this trade right here, but I'm just using this as the example right here for, I don't want people to think we're taking a sell because we're not taking a sell, but I have that marked up right there so you guys can see if these sellers end up getting stopped out. So good thing we weren't following that little hype move right there, because we would have gone burned at that point. So let me see if there's anything else here real quick. Flynn said maybe we get another buy at a discount. I mean, yeah, you could, but like Rune said, way too risky. Yeah, Lisa said it's a wicktastic day for US 30, 100%. Flynn said, unless you have a huge stop loss, US 30 is trying to take out the buyers and sellers. Yeah, I agree. Cal said, I got US 30 down at 30,825, which is at my 70% fib level, which is a nice key level to reject from. Nice. No, definitely. Skillstrate said, LOL, third time's a charm. Nope. Rune said, it's like that video Shawn just opened a trade and it reverses. Yeah, I did it like the one with the bull, right? The one that you guys are sending in the group. That one's pretty funny. Let's see. Lisa said, I was stopped out in small profit on US 30 when FTMO lagged. Not taking any trades if Shawn doesn't trade. Yeah, exactly. It's just a little risky for this point. Yeah, check that out. It's pushing up to that price point that I mentioned earlier. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Flynn said, I was thinking about entering a long from the bottom. Maybe it's better to just watch today. I mean, you can, Flynn, if like you're willing to take the risk, but it definitely looks way too risky, like especially on my end as well. I'm definitely not going to trade it at this point because it's just spiking too much, guys. Like the thing that you don't want to happen is you enter a position right here, like at this low, and then it spikes up and it stops you out above here. If your stop loss is, 1,500 pips, but we have a long bias. So if you were to enter up here and you let this drop, you probably would have gone close to stop loss as well if your stop loss was 1,500 pips down here. So just got to keep that in mind. See if there's anything else here before we continue on. Peter said, Shawn, hire security to follow you around because I'm worried the brokers are going to come after you for knowing so much and teaching this for free. Exactly, right, Peter? This is I mean, it's crazy how accurate, our predictions were today. Like literally we anticipated that to come down and then bounce up from there. The weird thing with this right here is that I'm not sure if the impulse is done yet because, like I mentioned how US 30 has two impulses. It looks like it continued the impulse down here and then it might be shooting back up from this point right here. So this might be the impulse move because the thing is it's too early for the impulse move to finish off, right? It's only 8:30. Usually the impulse will go on up until like maybe 10, like 9 or 10, like halfway through the market because from here till over here, this is the US session. So generally it has one impulse halfway through and then midway through market, it impulses in the other direction. So unless the impulse just happened like a lot earlier, like right here, it's probably just ended at this point right here at this drop. And then it ends up pushing from this point right here. Because this could happen too. I just feel like it's a little early for that impulse move, but I mean, who knows? We'll wait and see how this plays out. Let's see. Cal said, same with NASDAQ 100, waiting for it to hit a key level at 12,800. Yeah, definitely. Same thing that we analyzed earlier for NASDAQ. I think that's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for it to break the structure before, we ever decided to take anything there. Like, I think, yeah, Kel's key level is 12,800, which would be, oh, yours is like way down here. Yeah. 12,800 down here. So that's what I was mentioning earlier when we were analyzing NASDAQ. I was saying that we were pretty much just waiting for it to either, close below here or close above here for it to, for us to determine, if there's an entry readily available. Because it looks like it's just going to be ranging within the zone right here until it either breaks above or breaks below. We'll have to like pretty much just wait and see how that plays out from that point. Yeah, back at US 30. Yeah, look at this thing right here, guys. It's crazy. Every candle, this is only a 10-minute candle. This thing is spiking each candle like at least like 500 to 700 pips. So that's like about 700 right there. This last candle right here was about 500. This current candle right here is about another 500 pips. It's like US 30 is just moving so crazy right now. And it's probably best to just stay out of the market. Because like honestly, you don't know which direction it's going to go until it breaks above or breaks below, and you don't want to get caught on the wrong side because last thing you want to do is enter a sell and then so it looks like right here it's probably luring in some more sellers, right? It's pushing it below this structure so that people will enter a sell position right here, and then it'll probably stop people out again right there about 500 pips, same price point, and it'll just keep doing that back and forth until they make their money, and then they let price go to where it's supposed to go. So you can see here that it was 60% of people short. It went down to 59%. People are either getting stopped out or they're closing out their positions because they're freaking out. Like I mentioned, it's just crazy right now, guys. It's, the way it's moving, it's just all over the place. So I feel like a lot of people are just pulling out of their positions or they're getting stopped out. I mean, that's the main thing that's probably happening right now with people trading US 30 currently. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But let me see if there's anything else here. Skillstrate said it's reassuring that Shawn's K2 indicators didn't fall for the fake outs. Yeah, definitely, guys. Definitely not. You know, we're pretty much holding on to it and just waiting to see how this ends up playing from this point. Let me see if there's any other thing here before we continue. Mosima said, with these funny movements, are you still holding GJ? Yeah, I'm still currently in G, or let me see. I forgot if I closed it out. I think I'm still in it. Yeah, so I'm currently still in it. It hit TP1 when I was asleep, so I wasn't able to close it out, Mosima. But you know, technically we're still holding it. It hit TP1 last night for like 15 pips above here, and then it swung back down. But I think eventually it's probably gonna swing back up. We just have to you know, see how it plays out. Same with Euro USD right here. You know, Euro USD is playing out perfectly. It's swinging back down like we mentioned. It's doing exactly what we thought. I said it was going to reject off this point. Then we'd probably get a sell signal at some point down here, and then it'll probably continue down even further. So we'll see how this plays out over here. Let me see if there's anything else that we're looking at over here. City said had to step away for a while. We're still in the buy. So I closed mine out, City. Closed mine out in profit earlier because it froze up. I'm not sure if you were here when it froze up on us, but it froze up for like a good 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, I'm not messing with this. So I had to get out of the trade. Let's see if there's anything else here. Flynn said maybe US 30 makes its real move after the news. Second half of US session, Asia session comes, it can move smoother. Yeah, Flynn, that's what I was thinking too. You know, I was thinking for that impulse move to continue on. Why is it doing scratch? Hi, stop scratching. Yeah, this impulse move might come down from this point. First impulse right here, and then the second impulse, which generally happens mid-market, will shoot up from this point over here. Honestly, in my personal analysis right here, I think they're just luring in more sellers. I don't think it's going to continue dropping. I think tomorrow eventually it's going to swing up, but I think right here they're like luring in more sellers because, you know, if you look at this from this perspective, it looks like it's going to come dropping down, right? So you can see here the sentiment keeps changing. It goes from like 58 to like 60 to like 64 and then back to like 59 because they're either trying to scare people out of the market or they're trying to stop people out. So people either get stopped out or they exit their positions because they're scared. But they're trying to like basically FOMO more people in. So as soon as this closes below here, we're probably going to get another wave of sellers trying to enter the market like right there. They're going to have their stop loss somewhere around there, 500 pips, and then they're probably going to get stopped out on the next candle. I could probably see the next candle spiking up and then stopping them out right here. So we got 2 minutes left on this candle. We'll see how this ends up playing out. Let me go back to the chat real quick. And then we will we'll continue on with this. Let's see. Lisa said, I think some are still in the buy. Some of us got stopped out when FTMO lagged. Yeah, same with me. That's the same thing that happened with me. Varun said, damn, again, 500 pips. Impatient traders should be going nuts right now. Yeah, exactly, Varun. Air Suspension said, Bitcoin 80K in a few months. Yeah, I could probably see that happening. I mean, everyone's predicting it to go to 100K, right? So I could see that, you know, possibly happening. I mean, it's going to take a long time, but it's eventually, you know, if we go on the, let's see, the daily. Let me go on the monthly or weekly. Yeah, monthly actually. So, I mean, 80K is a pretty long stretch, but I could see it happening. Maybe not in a couple months, maybe, or actually maybe in the next 6 months to a year. I think it'll get to 80K up here. This is way too high, bro, for this to, so let's see how many strides it usually has from this point. About 6,000. This point, another 10,000. 8,000. So it has about a 6 to 10,000 stride per month. So this month is about to end. 6,000. So that's 1 month. 6,000. That's 2 months. 3 months. 4 months. 5 months. 6 months. 7 months. Yeah, so it'll probably get to 80,000 by like the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen too soon because just looking at these strides right here, I know obviously it has momentum, you know, with everyone kind of hopping onto Bitcoin, but I don't think it's going to be a smooth move like straight directly up, right? It's probably going to reject off this point. Even from here, we have these zones drawn up on the 4-hour. Looks like price is rejecting off this point. It might come down, retest the structure slightly before coming back up, breaking structure right there, coming back down, and pretty much just, you know, staircasing its way all the way up to the 80K mark, which will happen eventually, but I don't know if it's going to happen right away. This kind of makes me want to scalp Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys ever thought about scalping Bitcoin, but with the increased volatility for Bitcoin, it might be something nice to be scalping. So that's pretty much it for Bitcoin right there. Let me go back to US 30. It did exactly what I was thinking, right, guys? So from this point right here, people probably entered sells again at this point down here. And then their stop loss was here at about 500 pips. So whoever tried to like enter US 30 right here, this is what I see happening, right? They just keep stopping people out. Because if you try to enter at this low right here, when price looked like it was a strong bearish candle, it spiked up right away to possibly like stop people out of this trade. So I don't know. I just find satisfaction of like identifying areas where people are probably getting stopped out at, because in reality, there's probably a lot of stop losses in this area right here. This looks like a big area of stop losses right here. So I think if price reaches this point over here, so if price ends up spiking right here, there's probably going to be a stop loss hunt. Once price reaches this point, it's probably going to spike up quite a bit to like right there. And then, I mean, from that point, we'll see what happens, because everyone has their stop losses in the same area. And this is kind of where I see the majority of people's stop losses right here. You can see that it's inching close to it. So I think what they're doing is they're trying to give people some hope, right? They have people that enter some sells right here. And then, damn, Aaron blew his account. Man, that's what happens when you try to... Sorry, guys, it's fucked up. I shouldn't be laughing at it. Man, stop lying, Aaron. Aaron is over here said, dude, I blew my account, JK, but what are y'all trying today? No, stop lying, Aaron. I know you blew your account, bro. Let's see what he see if he wants to hop in on this call. But yeah, guys, like I mentioned earlier, like I was just discussing, I think there's a bunch of stop losses like within this vicinity right here. The reason for that is because you can see right here when price came up to this point, once it reached this area right here, it spiked up, right? Because it went for a stop loss hunt. It pretty much spiked up right there. I think once it reaches this point again, it's going to go for another stop loss hunt up here. But here's the key. If this happens right there, there's going to be more stop losses right here. So I think this is the vicinity of all the stop losses. There's going to be some stop losses right here. So once it hits this area, it's going to spike up to this area right here. It'll probably move a little slow sideways right here. And then I think once it reaches this point and hits this, it's going to go for another stop loss hunt that way. So let's see how this plays out. You know, I have this marked up for you. And then we'll pretty much see how this ends up, playing out. So I'm actually really interested to see how this plays out, even though I'm not really, fucking Aaron. Aaron is in here. Aaron, where you at, bro? I said join the live. I told everyone your account. AB trades head ass. And freaking Aaron. All right, let me send her on this link real quick. Damn, this dude's always bored. Aaron's always bored. When is he not bored? All right, so I got Aaron hopping into this this live session, since we don't really have much to really look at this point. Let's see if there's anything else here. City said, I'm still in the buy SMH. Should I just close and stay out of the market, Shawn? You can hold on, City, because if this ends up hitting this stop, this right here, it'll probably continue pushing up from that point. So you should be fine. Flynn said, Shawn, is it worth it to put a couple thousand in Bitcoin and hold, or is it too late to take money, make money off Bitcoin? No, it's never too late, Flynn. I had money in Bitcoin. I actually sold all of mine when it dropped, so I made a pretty nice profit. I was looking to rebuy once it dipped down again. So I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to dip a little further and then probably catch it as it swings back. So like right here, I'm probably waiting for it to come back down. And if it comes back down, I'll enter that buy from that point. Get Aaron FX over here. Aaron, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And why you gotta put FX in your name, bro?
Bro, I forgot to change my name, to be honest.
You know what happens when you put FX in your name?
Yes, sir.
Start to blow accounts.
Shawn FX.
Hell no, I'm never gonna put FX in my name.
Liar.
Yo, you been watching US 30, bro?
Bro, it's kind of weird right now, but I was scalping for a sale earlier, but it's just consolidating a little bit, so I'll just leave it alone until tomorrow. And doesn't Joe Biden he speaks today, right?
Well, I know he gets inaugurated tomorrow. I don't know about him speaking today. I know Yellen is speaking today. So, I mean, she's the Treasury Secretary. So,
Yes,
whatever she says is, obviously affecting the market. But I don't know what she's saying because I'm not following it.
Hey, what pairs are you guys looking at?
Nothing really right now. We're in a buy for GJ. So we got a buy for GJ. We got to sell for your USD from yesterday. Just kind of fucking around too much.
I see and shit, but
Yeah,
I was looking at NZD CAD.
NZD CAD.
Yes, sir.
Looking for a sell?
Yep, getting ready to.
I can see that right there because we got that rejection off this point. So that actually looks good. We got the high like way up here. We got that sell signal right here. Broke structure right here. Shot way down from that point all the way down here. And then if it breaks structure again, it's probably keep dropping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I started doing, bro? I started looking at the indexes. So like, for example, here we're looking at NZD CAD. Like obviously we want the Canadian dollar to be stronger than the NZD. So
Exactly.
I got this right here. I pull up the NZD index and then I got the CAD index right here. So it lines up kind of nicely. But they're both bullish right now. So that's why it's not really pushing down too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So like basically if this becomes a bearish candle, well, it's going into a downtrend. You can see the trend meter down here. But if this continues to be weak and then the Canadian dollar continues to be strong, then this will probably drop down further. So
Yeah, I see that happening too. That's why I had the same markup for NZD CAD.
yeah, it looks good. I mean, if it breaks that structure, I think it's going to
For this
continue.
past week, I've been calling none of my NZD trades or trade ideas. NJ, NU, and yeah, that's about it. Shit.
You're calling sales for them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been smashing. Little
Yeah.
pullback right there, but it's been I caught the sell right there. Right, exactly at that sell signal. I think you missed that one on NJ.
NJ? Well, no,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have the sell signal yet. If we get that
Oh, hey,
sell,
no, look up, look up, look up.
this one up here,
Yeah,
I was on the 15th buzz last week. I think we took that one.
stop lying, Sean.
Aaron over here. Man, you got to stop stealing my strategies, bro.
Trying to be like me.
Everyone's like, man, look at Aaron FX over here trying to be like Shawn K2. Let me see, NZDJPY.
Hey, bro, you'd be surprised how many people like they don't really understand the market and stuff like that, bro. Like you would think a lot of people like in the chat stage they know how to trade, but they really don't fully understand the market.
Yeah, no, that's why everyone sits in on these sessions every day because I pretty much go over everything. Same thing every day. It's the same analysis. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if we're looking at Forex, indices. It doesn't really matter overall. Oh, look at
I've been
this right here.
scalping DJ lately, bro. It's been crazy.
And bro, I was looking at US 30 right here, so I marked this up. I think this is where the stop losses are. See, once price reaches this area, I think it's gonna go for a stop loss hunt and push up above the structure.
Yeah.
It's doing exactly what I thought. C-Soup said, ha ha ha, Aaron. He's not coughing. You sound good, brother. Aaron doesn't have
What?
COVID no more.
What did
COVID.
you say?
C-Soup said, you're not coughing.
Oh, Ben, stop coughing. Come on, man. You already know me. Healthy. Team healthy over here.
Do you still work out in your backyard?
I'm doing push-ups almost every day, bro. So hey, when we gotta go body when I see you, bro. 10 seconds.
Let's do it. Yo, Flynn said Aaron IML. He said change your name IML, bro.
Hey, so I wanted to see you that one time, Sean, but you said you act like you didn't want to see me
All
last
right,
month.
man. Stop lying, bro.
Sean, I was like 5 minutes from your house, bro.
Stop lying, bro. Yo, where's that rug at? You gonna give me that K2 rug?
Oh yeah, he's in Mexico right now, bro, doing a video shoot. But I think the lowest he charged, I mean, he starts at 250.
It's not bad. It's
That's pretty
cool.
cool though.
Yeah, I'll probably hit him up. I'll hit him on his DM, so it's good.
I think he comes back in like probably next week or something like that. But yeah, he's busy right now. But yeah, he's man, that's crazy. He just started that little rug business. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Those rugs he make are pretty clean. I'm trying to get a K2 one, maybe put that maybe in front of my house or in
He
the
just started
office.
doing that shit, bro. That's crazy.
Oh, he just started doing it.
Literally just like he bought a rug. Do you know who Pharrell is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he bought a rug from Pharrell. Then Pharrell be charging like he be taxing for his rugs. Then he was like, man,
He was making his rugs. Okay.
yeah. So he had bought a rug from Pharrell. Then he was like, this is pretty cool. So I guess he started his own little business. Started
Yeah.
making rugs. I mean, I never really heard of that before. You feel me? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, me neither. Because I'm always looking for customized stuff for like K2, but it's kind of hard to find. But that's cool that he's doing those rugs. That's a random
Yeah,
business, but I can never see myself making rugs. But the rugs he makes are pretty dope.
exactly. I'm making me some AB trades rugs. You feel me?
Exactly. AB trades head ass.
AB trades beanie, rug, drawers, everything.
Do rag. What's the do rag at, bro?
Yeah, need to get me a new one.
You gotta get in blue, bro. In Profit Blue. Still got that picture of you, man. Where's that picture I posted of you, bro?
Don't
Pink
start.
Pink Panther head ass. But that thing's funny, bro. Like it really looks like you, bro.
Out of nowhere, bro. I can't believe it. I mean, it's crazy because I first seen that on Twitter. I'm like, man, no,
Now when I saw that, I was like, Aaron, bro, that's you, man. It looks just you got the same color do rag,
bro,
bro.
the same do rag. That's crazy.
Man, that's too funny. When I first saw that, I was like, man,
Wait, I
I
posted
gotta
it
make a
first, bro.
meme. Yeah, I made that meme real quick when I saw that picture. Let me see real quick. Okay, we got a question real quick. Still Trade said, Shawn, can you give us another example for buying the dips? Use Amazon once before, but can use another stock currency. Well, you can't really buy dips for currency skill trade because currencies are a ranging asset. You know, you have to use something that's oh, check this out, guys. It's exactly what I said right here. Like, yo, this is crazy, Aaron. Like, I was able to identify these areas where the stop losses were,
Mm-hmm.
and then I figured like once price reaches this point, it's gonna go for a stop loss hunt. So it's doing exactly like what I thought was gonna happen right here. Pushed up from this point, it's going for a stop loss hunt. I think once it reaches this point right here, it's gonna shoot up even higher. It's pretty crazy. Let me
So,
see.
if you get a buy signal right now, are you going to buy within that zone or no?
I mean, we want technically I want to, but with the way that the market's moving, it's crazy. But have you seen this? Like the market opened from here, it dropped from this point down here for like 2,000 pips.
Yeah,
And
I
then
seen that, bro.
from that point, it just whipsawed, bro. Whipsawed from here, 2,000 points. Again, from here up here, another 1,200 points
Mm-hmm.
or pips. And then again from here, like, bro, it's been like just whipsawing 1,000 pips back and forth. And then again, up right here,
Yeah.
another 1,000 pips right there. That's crazy. So I'm probably not going to mess with US 30 today, or maybe I will. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see how I feel in the next 6 minutes when this closes. It's just too risky. But skill trade, look at that. Going back to what I was talking about buying the dip, you have to use it on something that's like a trending asset, like US 30, for example. Like for example, here for US 30, or let me show you on another chart, or I'll just show you on Bitcoin. So like for Bitcoin over here, what I mean about buying the dip is where's Bitcoin at? What I mean about buying the dip is when price comes up and then swings back down. So like for example here, when price comes up, so Bitcoin is a trending asset, right? It just goes up. It's not really ranging. It kind of just goes, it'll consolidate for a bit and then it'll push up and then it'll just continue up in that direction because people are just buying it in one direction. It's the same with like gold. For currencies, these don't always go up. Like it'll go up, then it'll go back down. It'll go up, they'll go back down. It's a ranging asset. So you can't buy the dips for these because they don't go in one direction. But if you're trading something like Bitcoin, see when price break structure, it comes up. So for example, here it comes up and then it comes back down, right? Comes up right here, comes back down. This would be the dip. This is where you buy the dip. Again, same situation right here. Price comes up, and then it comes back down to this structure. This is where you would buy the dip right here. Same thing over here. Price comes up, comes back down, test this structure. This is where you'd buy the dip, or you could even buy it right here, and then it would have swung back up. So same situation over here. Price came up, came back down, could have bought the dip right here. Price is coming back up. As it comes back down, you can buy the dip either here, or you can buy the dip down here, because eventually it's going to come back up, right? So like you can literally just buy it and then hold it. You're just buying it at a discount. So that's pretty much what I mean about that skill trade when I'm talking about, buying the dip. Oh, man, I'm so tempted to take this US 30 trade, but I don't know, bro. What do you think, Aaron?
Hey, shit, I'm not trying to say yeah, then it drops. But I mean, it's looking good based off, the strategy and shit.
Look at that right there. That's a big move though. From this point, I mean, it's playing out just like we anticipated it. It's going through that stop loss hunt right now. Let's see what else we got over here before I continue. And morning CT. CT made it back. Arash said, am I the only one that thinks the market today is too weird? Very weird, Arash, overall, because we have the inauguration tomorrow. Josh said US 30 bullish now. Yeah, exactly like we anticipated. City said, I'm so glad I didn't close that loss. Would have been so pissed at myself right now. I was down 620 minutes ago. Yeah, no, for sure, guys. Like, be careful with your positions right now because of how the market's moving. I'm still debating if I'm gonna take this trade or not, because we have man, we got some crazy stuff going on over here. Man, I'm still thinking about it. Is this the all-time high? No, actually, it can easily push up. We should just take this trade. I might just take it. Let's take this trade, Aaron. Take everything off right here. Or actually, we could just leave this on. I'll just mark it up over here on this chart for that entry. US 30, 10-minute. Aaron, when are you gonna start your signal service, bro? Everyone's been asking.
I don't know.
Never.
I mean, I like teaching people, bro. It's way better than signals. When you see people profit, based off what you teach them and stuff like that.
I know, same here. That's why I don't really like doing it. But
like, bro, like when my students, when they hit me up with like trade setups, I'm like, damn, that shit makes me want to cry, bro.
makes you want to cry, bro.
I'm telling you, bro, like when they send you setups, bro, before you even get to, analyze it, that shit makes me happy, bro. So it's like shit, they're learning. So like I like that feeling. Versus, okay, you call one bad trade and all hell breaks loose.
I was like, man, I'm fucking quitting AB trades and I'm going back to K2. But no, bro, I feel you on that. That's why I don't really like doing signal. Man, look at this thing right here. I'm probably gonna
yeah, bro. Just hey, whenever that happens like that, bro, I like to leave it alone, bro. Shit, like me, bro. Oh no, it wasn't too clean today, bro. So I'm like, got in for a little scalp, got out, and it is what it is. You feel me?
Yeah, guys, I'm not messing with US 30 today.
I mean, yesterday was a nice entry for me, but like I said, I don't trade on holidays, bro, at all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's moving too crazy. So, guys, I don't think we're gonna take US 30. I mean, I'm watching it, and even if we wanted to take it, the signal didn't close, so it wouldn't even matter. But it's definitely moving a little too crazy right here. I'm gonna leave this up though. I'm gonna see if this plays out. It'd be crazy if this plays out exactly. You know what's crazy, Aaron? I identified this right because I identified the structure when we were watching this earlier, and it was like way up here, and I was like, yo, price is gonna come down, test this structure right here, and then reject right back up. And it did exactly what we anticipated. I was like, damn, it's crazy.
That's a big drop right now, like 30 points.
Yeah, bro, drop like that and then shot right back up from that point. It's crazy.
I'm talking about right now, that current candle, like that shit was crazy. I thought it was.
Oh yeah. No, I thought it was gonna come up too, and then it ended up dumping right there. So I'm out of the trade, guys. If you guys, because I took a buy earlier when it came down here.
When'd you buy? Oh, okay, you were scalping.
Yeah, I was scalping. Well, I just took a buy. I was gonna let it run because we were waiting for a buy entry anyways. So I was waiting for it to close out. so that we can, I was going to take a double entry. I was going to take a little buy from right here off the rejection. And then I was going to take another buy when you got that buy signal, but we didn't end up getting it. So that's why I ended up not taking it, but we had one that was pending. All right, I'm gonna delete this off my chart right here. I think that's about it, guys, for US 30. I don't think we're gonna take it. It's crazy. I closed out with some profit though. So if you guys saw the trade earlier, yo, Aaron, do you know that you can trade MT4 on your Mac?
What you lying, bro?
Here, mt4.ftmo.com, but you don't have MCO, right?
Oh, well, that's some shit.
It's like the same web browsing one that we've been using before.
That looks tight.
Yeah, it looks cool. I made decent profit off that trade, 650, I think, or something like that. It's
So how many accounts do you have now? Just 3?
Yeah, pretty much 3.
Are they all in profit right now?
So something, bro, it's crazy with FTMO. Yesterday they had this new rule where you couldn't have trades open if the market's closed more than 4 hours, because yesterday was a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that affected my 2 other accounts because I had a trade running on them.
The hell?
So I got to talk to them because I can't take trades on those accounts right now. So I don't know if they disabled it or whatever happened, but I need to talk to them to see what happened. Huh, what happened?
That's fucked up.
I know, it's fucked up, man. Like, well, they did send an email over the weekend, but I didn't read it. So like what happened was in K2, everyone was talking about it. And then I realized that my trade was still running. So I didn't get to close it because the market closed. So I got to see if that, if it ends up playing out.
That's fucked up, bro. That's dumb.
I know, it sucks. It sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's whatever. If I end up losing those 2 accounts,
can you at least withdraw your profits at least?
That's the thing. So I'm gonna see if they could either withdraw the profits or give me another account, like just start off again. But I mean, we'll see, because I don't know. It was also my bad because I wasn't paying attention. But still, I mean, they still should have like gave us some other warning, or like another email, like, yo, you should get out of that. So we gotta wait and see how that ends up playing out. But fuck, man, that's some bullshit, bro. Because we never had that rule before. Like, I always hold trades after the swap, but because of the holiday yesterday, market was closed for like 4 hours, and they said you can't hold trades that are when the market's closed more than 2 hours. So I was like, man, how am I supposed to know the market was gonna be closed? Until I hit up support, because we all hit up support yesterday, and then they responded to us and they told us the same thing. They were like, yeah, for funded accounts, you can't have trades held when the market's closed more than 4 hours. And I was like, well, how the fuck is I supposed to know that? Yeah.
Wow. That's not even cool, bro.
I mean,
at least you still have that account.
Exactly. I still have that account. That's the thing that sucks about trading with these funding companies. They could pretty much set their own rules, bro, whenever they want.
That's not even cool.
And it's like, man, I made you guys so much. Like, I've been making FTMO so much money. I was like, you guys should at least give me a solid right here, and at least.
Hey, Shawn, you better turn on lawyer mode. Shit.
I know, man. It's whatever. I'm gonna go make my own funding company. K2 funding, bro. Let me see what else we got over here real quick before we start. Before we see if there's anything else we need to cover. Mosima said on US 31 hour after it crosses the 200 EMA, I usually test the EMA before continuing. So maybe US 30 will shoot up since it's test the EMA. So yeah, I mean, it's shooting up like I mentioned earlier, guys. Like, I had this marked up earlier. I said I was going to reject up. And I said once it reached this like stop loss area right here, it's going to go for a stop loss hunt, possibly push up to this point, then push up even further. See if there's anything else over here real quick. Flynn said based on the US, on the 30-minute chart, US 30 is a buy. Try to go down a few times, but couldn't go down further. Varun said US 30 is giving multiple signals not to trade today. Exactly. So I'm not going to trade it myself. I already got out in profit, so I'm good. Kyle said, yeah, ask Shawn who put him onto that, Aaron. Exactly, right? Kyle Jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Or Kyle.
You got so many Kyles in the chat, bro.
I haven't seen Kyle Bacon in a while. Is he still on it? You still talk to him?
I mean, bro, he's a teacher, bro. So I'm pretty sure he's focused more on like the online training. I mean, the online teaching and stuff like that.
Yeah, he has class during this time, so sometimes he'll sit up on the session and he'll just pop up every once in a while. But I haven't talked to him in a while. I talked to him last week, dude, his Bitcoin went to like 10,000. It's crazy.
Yeah, Bitcoin's been booming, bro. So my shit went to like $6.
$6, man. You
I was just
rich,
playing
bro.
around with it, but I didn't expect it to skyrocket like that. I had bought it when it dipped to like $4. I mean 4,000, put like $1 into it. And let's
Exactly,
just say
bro.
that dollar is now at $6 right now.
You know, I was thinking about scalping Bitcoin, bro, because Bitcoin looks like something that can be easily scalped.
I was telling people in the chat like it's now day tradable. A euro, I mean the cryptos and yeah, all the cryptos pretty much day trade them now.
Yeah, you could day trade them because they're just the way that they move now. They're not really because the thing is they're in a range now. I mean, they're not in a range, but they're like they're in an area where price has been testing. Like this whole area right here is day trade area
Hmm.
because it could bounce back and forth between here. It's not like pushing up and you don't know where's the next structure, or it's pushing down and you don't know where's the next structure there. You already know it's within this range.
Yeah.
So you can like technically scalp all these right here. Pivots right here. Yeah, you could take all these buys right here, bro. Some money. There, boom, full TP. Uh, full TP.
Hey, don't we have high impact news today for AUD
Let me check.
AD pairs? Or is that
Uh,
tomorrow?
no, actually, there's nothing today on Tuesday. There's a lot of news tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so tomorrow that's when Biden speaks. Governor Bank of Europe, Governor Bailey speaks.
Wait, are
Bank
you guys trading tomorrow?
probably not. I mean, even today, even like this whole week's been weird, bro. Have you seen the market? Like everything's kind of been going back and forth.
I know, man. It's been crazy as
Check
hell.
this real quick. Yeah, everything is just like literally been bouncing around. Like even GJ over here, GJ, we're trying to take this. Yeah, I'm trying to master GJ, bro. I feel like GJ is a good pair to trade. Like like if you're trying to trade like one single pair,
Hmm.
I feel like GJ has pretty good potential. Because
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out one that I like. Like I like US 30, but I don't know, man. US 30 is kind of like it's not something that I would want to day trade. It's something that I'll trade like once a day, intraday trade.
yeah.
But for something like that can trade all day would be something like GJ right here.
Hmm. It's consolidating, right? I'm waiting for that breakout. Give me a little scalp. You feel me? I've been scalping GK all day yesterday.
I might enter some scalps too. If it comes down, test the structure or test the pivots, I might catch it as it swings back up.
I don't think I might come back down again. Shoot, just continue up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when price moves, the pivots are going to move with it. So the pivots are going to go higher, and then as it gets up to here, it can just test from that point. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that ends up playing out. Let's see if there's anything else here. Let's see if there's anything else before we continue. CT said, "Wait, what? No trades or indices?" Um, Sorry, CT. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I don't know if you're referring to FTMO. So yesterday they had an issue where you can't trade certain pairs, which was indices yesterday because the market closed early, but everything else is fine. It was just that, and it was just that day as well. It wasn't like every time. It was only for that one specific day. Let me see if there's anything else here. City said I had positions open as well, but I was able to place trades this morning. Hopefully it works out for you because I'm a little nervous myself. Yeah, hopefully it works out. I got to talk to their support because I've been trading with them since like May, and I've been profitable, since then. So it would be in their best interest to keep me as a trader because I'm making the money. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, if that's the case, then it is what it is. That it's their company; they can do what they want, and that's the risk that you take when you trade for a funding company like FTMO. I understand the risk, and it's fine because I made enough money with them already. So if I have to go to another company or start my own thing, then then that might be it. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see how they respond to my thing. Let's see. Yeah, Dejan's here. Aaron, he's been awake for a while.
Is that the dude from what's the name from what's that show called? Oh, the Bernie Mac show. There you go.
Wait, what? The Bernie Mac.
Yeah, I forgot what's his name again. The guy with the glasses.
Let me check.
haven't
The
seen it.
kid? Oh yeah. No, it is.
Yeah, for real.
Where'd you guys get that picture from?
Shit, Google. That's his picture from Facebook. He got the same name.
Yeah,
That's,
no, that is Dejan. Dejan said, "Oh, here we go." Yeah, no,
hey,
it's funny.
he started it, bro. That's when I found my Facebook. It is what it is.
Oh man, just looking at it right here. Jeremy Suarez.
There you go, right there. That one right there with the dot. Yep,
This one right here, that's Dejan.
yep.
Man, we haven't seen Dejan in a while. Where you been, Dejan? I know he's been probably busy with school or something like that. Because Dejan, he was here for a bit and he kind of disappeared for a second, and then here he's back again.
But the market is so slow, man. This is annoying.
Market is moving slow, so now it broke structure right there. It's probably going to continue up higher, but
Might
not going
start
to mess
driving
with
again,
this.
bro.
Dejan said, "That's my uncle." Let's see what else we got here. Flynn said the spread is so wide on FTMO for Bitcoin. How big is the stop loss? Yeah, so that's one thing I'd have to look at, Flynn, because I know the spread is crazy for Bitcoin on FTMO. Let me check real quick. Cryptos, Bitcoin dollar. So I got it open over here. Let me see what it looks like. Put this over here. So it's 308.40 minus. Actually, there's like no spread. There's no spread on FTMO. I mean, it's like 1 pip or maybe 2 pips. That's crazy. The spread on FTMO is pretty. It's pretty close. 30.3. Yeah, it's only off by 2 pips, Flynn. I'm not sure where you're looking at for the spread on Bitcoin for FTMO, but I just looked at it. The spread is only, or no, sorry, that's my bad. Shit, I was looking at the wrong chart. I was looking at US 30. The spread for US 30 is 0. But let me pull up the chart for this real quick. Oh, okay, I see it is free. It's pretty wide. So looking at this here, 37215.031 minus 3728596 or 980. Damn, that spread's freaking crazy. Yeah, I don't know about the spread on this, Flynn. So maybe I won't be scalping Bitcoin because the spread's pretty heavy on this. So I'm assuming the spread's probably like 709.49 or 709.5. That's what the spread's looking like for Bitcoin on FTMO. So yeah, scalping is probably out of the question. So I think the better option would probably be buying the dip if and whenever it does dip. So we'll see how this plays out. I mean, other than that, let me see. Other than that, it's just too risky. Because if we were to scalp Bitcoin, let me see. Okay, for example here, let me see if we're trying to scalp Bitcoin on the 10-minute chart. If we're trying to scalp this here, actually, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. Aaron, have you scalped Bitcoin? I'm not sure if it's like if the spread's really that wide or not. Because I know the number's big, but I don't know if it's actually that wide because
Yeah,
of the way it moves.
I think the spread is like 100 pips, bro.
Oh, it's not too bad then.
When I start off with Hugo's way, whenever I enter a trade with a 0.01, I start off at minus $10.
So it's not horrible. I mean, it's doable, but it's still not great. All right, cool. So that's good to know. Let's see if there's anything else over here real quick. So yeah, Flynn, I'm not sure. I would have to try trading it myself to see if that'd be the case. Like I'd probably just take a small position, let it run, close it, like enter it and close it for a profit, and see how much profit I make off that little move. Let's see if there's anything else right here. Fung said, can someone confirm my understanding? FTMO is taking out US 30. So Fung, they're not taking it out. They're just changing it. They're changing it from US 30 to US 30.cash so that it is the actual indice. It's not the future. Because I think there was a lot of confusion with the future and the indice. So that's why they're changing it. But it's not really going to make a huge difference. Just something small. Let's see if there's anything else here. Jean said I had one of my graphic design courses at 11. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why you've been busy, huh? Got that. Dejan's still trying to get that gig over at Pixar, right? So that'll be cool. CT said sell signal US 30 below false. Buy out of that zone. Check dollar rise. So looking at the dollar rise over here, DXY. Yeah, it looks like the dollar is rising right now. Obviously, we had the rejection from that point. I identified this as swinging back up from here. And yeah, so CC said sell signal for US 30 below false, buy out of that zone. Yeah, that's kind of what I did earlier, CT. Like before you got here, I entered a buy position from down here and then it shot up. I actually closed mine out around here because we for some reason our FTMO froze this morning. So I was like, I'm not gonna risk it. So I just closed out profit, which is fine. But I think it's gonna continue pushing up from this point because this is where I identified the stop losses. It's pretty much past this structure. Then I see it reaching this point. Once it reaches this point, I think it's going to go on a farther stop loss hunt and it's going to stop all these people out before shooting up higher. So, I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this, ends up playing out. Let's see. Dejan said, I could just imagine that outrage if Bitcoin was to drop half of its price, right? Dejan, that's why I'm like waiting to buy because I feel like it's kind of too expensive right now. So I feel like it's going to have to dump to some extent before it ends up continuing. CT said, I was thinking sell if possibly. I think, so I could kind of see that CT, but I think with well, I mean, this is like a double-edged sword because the thing is tomorrow, the inauguration, I think it's going to be bullish for tomorrow, but I don't know how it's going to move until then, right? Because it might go sideways, it might drop for a bit before it ends up spiking up tomorrow. But I think overall it's probably going to be bullish. So I don't think I would take this here because for the reason for that is there's a lot of fake outs that have been going on down here. Like we were looking at sentiment earlier. Sentiment was at like 64%, and then it went down to 58, and then it went down to 60, it went up to 62, then back to 59. And the sentiment is just bouncing back and forth between that area. So I think if the sentiment keeps growing for the short, I think it's going to spike up. So I think what might happen here is it might come back down a little bit. And then as it comes down, it's going to spike all the way back up eventually at that point. I don't know. The market has just been like super weird this week overall. Yeah, exactly. So CC said, yeah, it's 50-50 right now, just watching the dollar. Me too, because we still have that Euro USD position active. So I want the dollar to be strong. I want the Euro index to be weak. And that's exactly what's happening here. Weak Euro, strong dollar. So hopefully that continues to play out from that point because, we've been holding that Euro USD position for a while. Let me see if there's anything else. You in any positions right now, Aaron?
Nope. Watch. The market been kind of whack. I wasn't NJ and NU, but it retraced, so got stopped out in profit. You know how that is. Exactly. I was honestly looking at Euro USD, but right now it's at resistance. So hopefully it rejects off that resistance and continues down, creating a new low.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Hey, pull up Euro USD.
Yeah, it's up right here.
That's US30.
Oh no, you see Euro USD on that.
Damn, I'm just lying.
Damn, Aaron Gil AB trades head ass. Let me see. We over here Euro USD. All right, cool. Go on higher time frame.
So you got okay. I'm tripping. I was about to see you guys are in profit. Wait, so when did you guys buy or sell?
Oh, we sold like way down here, bro. We're in some drawdown right now.
Oh shit.
Because when the market opened, it was like straight bearish, right? So we were like, all right, cool. It's gonna be like just looking at it from right here. It looks like it's obviously gonna come down, right? It didn't. There's like no hint that it's gonna come. And
she's like, we honestly had the same markup, bro. But what I did, I had dragged my that support down a little bit.
A little farther.
Yeah, drag it down a little bit. Yeah, I had exactly right there, and that's where it kind of like rejected off of a little bit. Yeah, I had dragged it down right there. So I was entering up. I wanted to enter a sell as well, but it was just too close to that pivot. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let me just wait. And that's why I started to press on you guys a little bit because it was a little zone right there. So it still can come down. So I mean, see, who knows what can happen? So tomorrow is gonna be a crazy day.
Yeah, because the zones kind of changed a little bit after, because this was like when the market just opened. So I think we probably just, yeah, we took this trade like way too early, bro. Because this
That's
is
what I
literally
realized too about the market. Like they always they create new zones every week. Like sometimes they'll
exactly.
respect the same zones within the previous weeks, but sometimes I mean they actually create new zones. So sometimes you gotta wait and see how price reacts towards these zones. That's why I always trade Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays through Thursday.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, no. No, I feel you. That's why I usually try to hold off on trades on like Sunday. But sometimes like there's good trades. Like there's sometimes where we have like really good Sundays and that
Mhm.
just takes resistance to the week. So that's why I usually just if I see something good, I'll take it. But if not, we usually just hold off on it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Hey, but so far, hey, the past few Fridays, bro, the market has been super volatile. So man,
Yeah, no,
expect
yeah,
a
it's
lot
been
of
crazy.
movement on. You said what?
It's been crazy. I mean, especially right now because of the inauguration. I think on Wednesday the volatility is gonna pick up like crazy because people are gonna start betting on the market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm pretty much waiting for that. And I'm pretty much just kind of just lingering with my position until that happens. I think the dollar is going to be strong though. Like once we hit the inauguration,
Hmm.
it's going to be morale back. Because the thing with Biden is he's trying to do that whole like massive vaccine thing,
Okay.
and if
Okay.
he does that, then it's just going to help overall. With how stuff's going to happen. I don't know how.
Hey, Sean,
Yeah,
have you been looking at pound AUD?
mm, yeah, we analyzed it earlier. Let me see. I think I have a markup still on here.
I was thinking about buying that real soon. It's kind of consolidating right now. So once it breaks out of my consolidation zone, I'm gonna start buying.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for right here. We're waiting for it to close above the structure so we can take that buy position right there. I analyzed this earlier for one of the members here. So it's kind of what we're waiting for right here. But I mean, we're just going to wait and see how this plays out. Because here's the thing, like, I don't want to enter these trades and then tomorrow everything reverses, right? Because that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, it possibly can happen, especially tomorrow. There's high impact AUD news, so there's high impact news all day tomorrow. So you
Yeah,
never know. I'll take it
I'll
from.
probably call this GA though. This GA will be good because I'm already in GJ over here. So I'm looking for the bullish move off that.
Yeah, true, true.
So this could, I mean, it could be good.
And how's AUD USD looking?
AUD USD is looks like it could drop too right here. I think if we it looked like it retraced down a little bit because we had the rejection from this point. It's just
Hmm.
been establishing lower highs. So we have a high, low, lower high, low, lower low, lower high right here.
Oh, you're in. Okay, okay, okay.
So I'm gonna sell right now. So we got a high
How long you
right
gonna
here.
trade for?
Since Sunday.
Okay.
So we got the high, low, lower high. I think it's gonna push down from this point.
And was that a signal or your personal trade?
It was just personal trade because I saw that the U.S. dollar was strong on Sunday, so that's why I just took it when it was right here actually because it was right here, and I was like, oh, this is gonna keep pushing down further, and I got in kind of early because I wanted to catch it as it came down further.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna come down. So if this happens, if AUD USD comes down, then GA is probably gonna go up because they're gonna
Hmm.
move opposite of each other, and that'll help with GJ as well.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I wanted to buy AUD or pound AUD because I was looking at AUD USD and it looked like it was gonna fall. So yeah,
yeah, I think it should be good.
and I was looking at AUD CAD. I think too. How does that look? I forgot.
I was looking for a good. Good, I did take this trade right here, bro.
Sleepyhead ass.
Cause look at this, man. It's crazy spike.
Oh yeah, good thing you didn't take. Yeah, exactly. I was looking for a
Yeah,
sell right now too.
I was thinking about taking this buy here, but man, this is how you know the market's moving crazy. Look at this spike, bro. It shot up from here and it dropped like 40 pips in like a few minutes. And
Damn.
this doesn't move like that normally. ADCAT.
Exactly, exactly.
It's a slow moving pair, so that's how you know the market's just cracked out today, bro.
So I'm looking at AUD CAD, NZD CAD, and I think shit, the pound JPY for like a little scalp.
Yeah, yeah, that could
Bro,
be
trading
good.
is so much easier when you look at the bigger time frame.
Yeah, that's why I prefer to just trade on the 4 hour. And then on for indices, I like to chart myself like on the 1 hour because on the shorter time frames, bro, there's so much noise on there. It's just you get caught in the noise and it's like you end up getting kicked out of trades and it's just bro, it's just way too risky.
Exactly.
Dude, I was looking up new scalping strategies for US 30, but I'm probably not gonna do it. It just the market moves too fast and it's just too I personally just find it to be too risky.
Oh my god.
There's anything else over here? Dijon said, I'm making an animated movie one day, and one of the background shots, you'll see Aaron making a light skinned face in the mirror. Yeah, you're gonna see Aaron's his little Pink Panther picture. Bro, we made so many memes back then.
Hey, bro, for real, we was just playing around.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened to your memes. I know we had a lot of yours with you and the what was it called? I forgot. It was that one face she made before. Oh, before and after you joined K2. Remember that one?
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
That was one of the first ones that we made a long time ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. City said, do you think that asset change affect how we approach the daily strategy? Not really, City, because we're still. It doesn't matter if the strategy is it doesn't matter how the market's moving because regardless we're still chasing momentum. So if the momentum's there, we catch that ride, and if it's not there, we just wait for the next one. So there's really no change with regard to the daily strategy.
Yeah, bro. If it breaks that previous low, bro, it's gonna tank. It's gonna drop
Right?
hard if it breaks that previous low. Yeah, right there. That's what I think.
Yeah, possibly.
There's consolidation going on right now.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's going to be ranging within this area now because it looks like well, actually, it's still spiking around like crazy. Right here was like 2,000 pips. This was like 1,400 pips, 1,400 pips. Again, right here for another 1,000 pips. So it looks like it's starting to get tighter and tighter. So it looks like what's happening here is that it's starting to tighten a little bit, like something like this, like a little triangle. Well, maybe not like that, but it's probably going to go down this way. Because it looks like it's getting tighter and tighter. So like from this drop up here, it went from a 2,000 pip drop to 1,400 pip drop to like 1,200 pip drop to 1,000 pip drop, and it's just going to keep going back and forth before it either breaks above it or breaks below it.
Exactly.
So
That's just the way.
that's what it looks like from there. CT said he might go back to HB. ACT, are you still here in Southern California? Or are you back in NorCal? It's supposed to be pretty warm out today, I think. Yeah, it's been like hot, huh? The past couple of days, we had like a heat wave.
Exactly. So not that hot to be honest. It's been cool, pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be I thought there was a brush fire going on or something like that.
I thought I smelled something yesterday.
That's what I thought because usually when it gets hot here in Irvine, there's like a fire going on and the heat's just blowing this way. But I think it was just normally hot.
There's so much consolidation going on, bro. I'm just I hate when the market moves like this. I get bored.
Exactly, same here.
Hey, bro, I'm looking at Litecoin, bro. Litecoin's about to hit let's see, at least $180.
Yeah, I don't mess with none of those Bitcoins, bro. The only Bitcoin I'll mess with is Bitcoin. The other cryptos are crazy, man. What was Litecoin LTC?
Yes, Thirsty.
LTC USD.
Bro, it looks so clean, bro. How can that's easy money?
Damn, you can make some money off this on. Yeah, I mean,
It's at previous high right now. So
I mean, it's pretty easy. It looks like because you just identify this consolidation, and then catch the breakout.
come on, Shawn. I know you want to buy it. Buy it.
I'm gonna make a big little withdrawal on here. I mean, big deposit. I'm gonna dump it. Man, I messed up my colors now. Damn, I forgot what colors were my zones. Okay, I think that's the right color. Actually, huh? Bro, does this color look the same? Let me see.
Bro, you know my eyes messed up.
Fuck me. Yeah, I hate when I do that because I change the color of my rectangle and then I forget what color it was. Then now it throws me off. That's too light. It's too.
Just copy and paste it.
No, it's not gonna be the same color. It's gonna.
But now go to your the previous chart. Then you just click on the color. You go to settings. It should show you.
doesn't show up on mine. Let me see that. The color looks different on this one. Oh, there we go. Cool. All right, back to normal. But yeah, you could like identify these like these consolidation phases and then catch it as it breaks out.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. That was something that I was using for US30 for a bit, and then I realized that man, US30 moves totally different. Like it rarely really consolidates like that. It's usually moving in one direction or the other. All right, let me see if there's anything else here to look at. US30 so slow. Oh, nice. CT's back in NorCal. He said breakfast in Malibu, lunch in Santa Barbara, then back. Damn, man. He took that whole drive back to NorCal. A long drive up there.
Damn, he didn't see us. That's messed up.
I know, CT. I thought you were gonna give us some barbecue, bro. That you had that. You came down with your barbecue truck. We gotta try out a CT's barbecue.
Oh, he cooks.
Have you seen his truck? Yeah, he has an Instagram page. Pretty cool. It's like one of those catering trucks.
What's his page?
I don't know. Hey, CT, it's on your Instagram, right? Or your I think it's on your personal. Yeah, he has like a barbecue business. Pretty cool.
My dad, he cooks too.
Yeah, he does like catering stuff.
Yeah, he be making. I think he made like 10 turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Damn.
People.
I can't cook for shit. I'm trying to cook, but I make a barbecue, but I can't really cook.
I see it right now. I found it.
Let's see what else we got over here. Flint said US30 is making another bearish engulfing tweezer. Oh yeah, from actually, yeah, right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna step away from the market today. It's consolidating too much. What I did realize is that Asian session has been booming lately for some reason. It's so weird how US session is kind of consolidating, but Asian session has been very volatile.
Man, I don't even want to bother with that Asian
And
session.
you'll notice it. Watch later on today. You're gonna notice that Asian session was booming.
Yeah, I was looking yesterday. I was thinking about taking some trades, but yeah, I mean, it's actually Asia session has been a lot better than the US session for sure. Well, because yesterday was a holiday, so it started
Go
to
back
pick
to
up.
exactly. Go back to the pound JPY. Now, all right, go to the 30-minute time frame. Let's see. So yeah, I drew my consolidation box right there, so you can draw it right there from the high to the low.
Yeah, where it currently is.
Yeah, I'm currently waiting to trade. That's how I scalp. So I just basically wait for the breakout. So draw my consolidation box, and then
Do you take the wicks or you just take the body?
with it really depends on if it makes sense or not. You feel me? Sometimes
Yeah.
it it doesn't make sense if I start from the body. Sometimes it does. And
Yeah,
that's
like right here, it looks like it's good from the body because it looks like it retraced up.
exactly.
Yeah, so it just needs a break above it, bro. Boom, break above it, full TP.
And that's just, hey, look to the left, bro. You see right here? No, to the left. On right there, where it says right below the Y in JPY.
Oh yeah.
It was consolidating right there, two sides. We had sold that broke. Actually, my student called it out. He called it out from the pound JPY. I think it was on Sunday, I believe. But I don't trade on Sundays, but I'm surprised it made that move. It was crazy.
Yeah, this one right here, sideways and done.
Exactly. So that's all I look for when it comes to scalping. Just consolidation, break, go at the momentum. And as you can see, it it played out perfectly. Break, retest, continue to downtrend. It was like I think drawdown was like 8 pips. Then it dropped like 60.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, bro.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I just be chilling all day long. Then I just wait for trading session to open and trade the breakouts.
Pretty much, man. Just waiting for this to play out. Hopefully, it swings up because
It's
I'm
so
waiting.
dead right now. I mean, it almost hit TP1. Shit.
Yeah, no, I hit TP1 already. We hit this TP2.
Oh,
So
it's
I hit
TP2.
TP1.
Okay.
Yeah, I hit TP2 last night, like at 2 a.m. I was asleep, so I couldn't close it. So I'm still on the trade. And then it's I mean, once it swings back up, I'll probably move my TP to TP1, and then I'll let it run from there.
Bro, I haven't placed a Forex trade in so long, bro.
Bro.
So before this week, because it's been so like it hasn't been moving in my favor. As a scalper, it hasn't really been moving in my favor, but it's been picking back up.
Yeah,
So
we had a couple trades running. We have that running. We have AUD running. We got Euro odd running as well. This one about to hit my stop loss, man.
what do you guys call this one?
It was like last week. It was my fault because it dropped right here, and I was on the live session right here at 10, and then I didn't get a chance to close it out. So like I didn't move my stop loss and profit, so I ended up holding on to it, and then it just straight up reversed after that. So I was like, damn. I mean, that was my bad. I didn't even do what I recommend people to do. Move my
Yes.
stop loss.
Hey, so
I
would you
didn't,
call a buy right now if it breaks above that zone? Would you call a buy?
probably not
I was
because
honestly, I was
yeah.
thinking about calling a buy to be honest on mine.
So I think this is temporary. I think it's going to come back down because I was looking at at the index for EA for euros right here. The euro index is weakening, so it's coming down right here. So if that happens, and the Aussie index gets stronger, so right here it's starting to push up. Like they're both bearish right now,
Mhm.
but this right here actually has it looks like it's going to swing back up at this point. It has a nice wick, and then if this continues to push down further, then it'll swing back in my direction for a sell. So this has been helping a lot, like with confluences, just to see how strong the currency is. Um, but I think for like future reference, I probably will just go to like one currency, and if one's like super bearish and the other one's super bullish, then that's when I will take it. Like for example here, like the Aussie is really weak. If I look at the pound, this is bullish. So for this, I would take GA for a buy because the pound is strong and then the Aussie dollar is weak. So if this is the case for these currencies, then GA is probably going to push up pretty heavy. Or let me push back. Go back to here. If that's the case, then GA will probably push up pretty strong. So that's something that I look at for my confluences now.
Yep. Yeah, that
Whenever
makes
I'm taking a specific asset. Let's see what's going on here. All right, let me see if there's anything else to look at real quick. Let me go through the chat. Trell said, I think I'm going to be writing AJ and GA. He's going to be writing AJ down and GA up for the rest of the week. Let's see, let's check out AJ real quick. Looking AJ down and GA up. So looking at AJ right here, we got the Aussie, and then we got the JPY. Yeah, it's kind of risky. Actually, no. Looks like the JPY is swinging up. So if this swings up and this swings down, then AJ would be a good sell. And same with GA for the pound going down and the Aussie going up. I mean, the opposite, the pound going up and the Aussie going down. Go wait and see how this plays out. Let me see if there's anything else here. Hey, what's up, Deswell? Looks like Deswell made it into the chat. CT said gold looks like a little wick off consolidation going on. I was looking at gold yesterday. You still trade gold, Aaron?
Yes, sir. Been killing it all week, to be honest.
This has been like consolidating for a while now.
Let's see how you got. Hold on 1 second. I might be looking. 1 second.
It's just ranging within the zone right here.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all I see right there for gold. But I think gold will probably I mean, who knows? Well, we'll have to see. I think tomorrow it'll spike up during the inauguration. It'll either strengthen the US dollar or weaken it, depending on what happens tomorrow. If something crazy happens, then it'll probably go up. If it's just normal, it'll probably go down. I don't know, but it's been in this consolidation since the 8th. So it's been consolidation for how long now? 12 days, basically. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, exactly. CC said didn't lay it out, but it's sideways. I agree too. Flynn said US 30 is going to fill the Sunday gap. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Josh created this one new strategy, and I don't know if you saw it, the Sunday Fun Day strategy. Oh, it's crazy. He takes the first signal on market open, and we just ride that. We took two full TPs yesterday for US 30.
Say cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, so it's cool. We hit it for the daily entry, and then we hit it for that Sunday entry as well. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, bro, I don't trade on Sundays at all. That's a no-no.
Man, we're starting to. I usually don't, but we just started trading it because Josh figured out that strategy.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
has a
think US
pretty
30
high.
may push up one more time.
I gotta go to the gym, bro. It's freaking still half asleep right now. Let me see if there's anything else that we can look at. I'm probably gonna log off soon. What else you got planned today for trading? You're still trading? You're gonna chill?
I'm just chill, bro. Focus on the chat.
Yeah, I gotta hit the gym, wake my ass up because I'm sleepy. See if there's anything else here before we continue. Yeah, Trell said AJ right shoulder, so I'll go to AJ real quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess this could be head and shoulders right here, right? Shoulder, head. Or actually, no, this wouldn't be it. Shoulder, head. No. Man, honestly, I don't know. I don't trade patterns, but Trell said AJ right shoulder.
On what
Actually,
time
no, that's
frame?
right. Head, or no, shoulder, head, and pushing up for another shoulder.
Shawn, just stop. Just stop.
Price action head ass. Man,
The market's
this is
pretty much
why.
dead, bro. But
Yeah, that is why I don't trade patterns because the thing is, what someone else sees could be completely different from what
uh-oh.
someone else sees. There's really no way to really to do it properly.
Wait, was that an entry for US 30 or what?
It's a signal, sell signal right there.
Are you gonna take it though?
Hell no, I'm not gonna take it. I think it's gonna go sideways. Well, we'll see. Let me take this off right here. I shall leave this on. I want to see how this plays out. If it does end up playing out. Let me see if there's anything else here before we continue on. Yeah, CT was busy with his son. His son was moving this weekend. Nice. Hey, Kamizan, how's it going? Looks like it's late over there. Kamizan said it's good night. It's like early morning here for us. Flynn said 13 wins out of 15 trades for the Sunday service special. Worth trading on Sunday. Yeah, like Flynn did a back test on it, and the results were pretty good for like the past previous couple of months. The only problem is someone did a bigger back test, like up until I think June, and it was like a 56% win rate. It was still above a 50%, but there were some months where it was just really
I
bad.
guess it depends on how the market is, you know.
Yeah, like for
Even my strategy for US 30 has been pretty accurate too. I think out of the past like 50 trade, like not say 50, probably like the past like at least like 30, bro. I lost like probably like one or two. It's been so accurate, bro. But like the thing is, bro, like sometimes I may place like trades like twice, I mean 2 to 3 times a week, you know. I don't see opportunity all the time. Like how you may see an entry like 4 times, you know, 4 days out of the week, and I may see like 2 or 3 opportunities.
yeah,
So that's the
exactly.
downside of it. But you know, I mean, it's still cool, still accurate though. But can't go out there forcing trades.
Exactly, yeah. Because we did a bigger back test, and like right here on my screen, like everything was pretty much solid from December up until October, and then September is just a bad month. Like the whole month of September was straight losses, but everything else is good. Like we had a bunch of wins in July, a bunch of wins in August, straight losses in September, but then straight wins for like October, November, and December. So
So for the ones you lost, like so, like why'd you guys lose that trade? For the ones you guys would have lost in September.
we didn't take these trades. It's just a back test.
I'm just saying, like based off the back test and stuff like that. Like when I back this, I take notes. Like why would you know? Like let's say if I'd have lost a trade, I would ask myself, why did I lose that trade? You know?
There's just a raw back test. It's a back test without making any changes. So just running the strategy, if we were just to run it without making any changes, this would be the results. So obviously we could change stuff if that was the case. Like we could probably skip, the first candle or something like that. But we always do a raw back test because that's how you make the improvements. We do the raw back test, and then after that, we add like little changes to increase the win rate. So that's pretty much how like all the other strategies work. Like they started about like a 60% win rate. Then we add another indicator to it. It increases it to like a 75% win rate. And then from there, we just keep adding other stuff to make it better. But this is just the raw back test. So we changed it up like the TPs and stop loss, and it actually had a better win rate because then we double up on some positions. Right? It was like
Okay.
we have 2,000 pips instead of just 1,000 pips. But I mean, yeah, that's just like one of the changes that could be made for us to pretty much make it better.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, look at US 30, bro. It's doing exactly what I mentioned. Oh, look at that stop loss hunt right there. Boom. It broke the stop loss area right here, broke up to there, caught that stop loss hunt, just continue to push up even further. Damn. Oh man, I wish I took that freaking. I should have held on to it. It's all good. Damn, look at that thing pushing up. It's crazy because we had that sell signal look like it was gonna drop. All of a sudden, it shot all the way up from that point. I'm gonna check the Forex pairs real quick, see if there's any entries. If not, I think I'm gonna be signing off. So I head to the gym. See this right here. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. IGUSD is coming down, thankfully. Cat CHF. The CHF pairs are usually like the weirdest pairs, bro. You still trade CHF, Aaron?
Nope, not on my watch list.
Yeah, the CHF pairs are messy, bro.
Horrible.
Okay, JPY. Yeah, this market's garbage. Whatever. EuroCAD. Good thing we didn't take that EuroCAD. Risky, risky, risky. We have a couple decent trades that are possible, but I think I'm going to hold off on taking these trades because that stuff's crazy. Actually, GA is probably one of the decent ones. I think that's the only one that probably looks decent. Damn, look at this wick right here on GCAD. Crazy wick. 40 pip wick, and GCAD doesn't move like that. GBP CHF. We already have a buy for GJ. So many freaking zones here for GN, GU, NCD CAD. All right, so it looks like the only pair here is going to be like GA, but even that looks kind of risky.
Dang, a lot of the Canadian pairs spiked.
Yeah, I noticed that. Same with odd cat earlier that we looked at. Let's see GA real quick. So we got pound right here. Actually, GA could be a good trade because GA, if that happens, I mean, obviously you want it to go up. So if that happens, the pound is stronger. So I'll probably call this trade if it closes above this structure. Other than that, I think that's about it. Let's see. CT is looking at NZD CAD. Let me see.
For itself?
Yeah, I mean, we're waiting for that too. CT, me and Aaron were looking at this earlier. We're waiting for it to close below. I don't think it's going to close below within the next 12 minutes, though. And we'll see how it plays out, but I don't know if it'll push down that far. Damn, Hamizan said it's 1:42 a.m. over there. It's the opposite time of us, basically.
Wait, where at?
Let's see, Hamizan, where are you located? Let me see if I could look it up on the time zone converter. Let's see. Actually, I don't know. I couldn't find it on the time zone converter, but I'm sure Hamizan's like on the opposite end of the world. Right, like in Europe or Asia or anywhere that's not the US, basically. All right, so let's see. We only have one trade that's possibly available. It's GA right here. But I'm still gonna wait for this to close before I take it. Doesn't look like a risky trade. We have about 10 minutes left on here. And I can finally log off and go to the gym. So I can stop yawning. Oh, man, Aaron, I yawn as much as you cough, bro.
There he goes, starting already, man.
Oh, man.
You was being good, too.
I gotta find that folder with all the memes that we made earlier.
Well, yeah, I know. So we used to be so wild.
What was it?
So we used to be so wild.
Oh, I know, back then, huh? Everyone had a meme in that group. Even Felix had a meme.
Hey, what happened? Is he doing pretty good with this little group?
Yeah, he's still doing stocks and stuff. He's doing cool.
What's so crazy? Like just seeing my group grow and stuff like that. It's just so crazy, bro. I just started, like, it hasn't even been a year yet, bro. And I'm almost at 400 members.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man. K2's grown a lot since we
I know.
started.
Again,
Super.
people, it's like most people, they don't want to learn. They just want to do signals and stuff like that. But I don't really like signals because that's gonna make me stay up all the time. I'm like, me, I get sleepy real fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I've been up
Exactly.
pretty late now.
You're up pretty late.
Yeah, up 2 a.m.
No, I don't do that. I gotta wake up for this session in the morning, so I try to get in bed by like midnight latest. Yeah, because US 30 is like it's my main trade for the day. Can't miss this. If I miss this, sets my whole day off. Yeah, man.
Hold on.
Hello?
Yo, what up, bro?
Get over here. All right, waiting for this GA to close, guys. In about 9 minutes. Hopefully by then we can possibly take an entry. If not, how are you doing, bro? I need to go on the blocks, dude. And chart, bro. All right, so we got 9 minutes left on this candle. Yeah, other than that, guys, I think we're done with the questions. Unless you guys have any other questions, I think we're gonna be done after I possibly call this trade right here. I think that's about it for the most part. Let me go check real quick. Buy stop. I'm just gonna set this trade up. So if we do end up calling this trade, it'll be ready to go. So we got GBP on.
Yeah. That's nice.
Oh, it's 60 pips. Yeah, so it should be good. If this ends up closing, we'll be good to go. You guys got to remember to use the exit strategy for pretty much anything that you guys are applying, because this week is a crazy week. As you guys can see, especially from US 30 over here, we had a lot of close calls here where we thought we were going to take the buy, but it didn't close and ended up spiking. Like, it spiked about 2,000 pips here, about 1,400 pips here, 1,200 pips here, then 1,000 pips again right here. And then it just keeps spiking back and forth. So it's definitely a risky pair to trade. I mean, in general, the market's just risky right now. But we'll try to be calling trades, as much as possible. This GA might be a bit risky too, actually. It looks like the pound isn't all that strong. And it looks like the Aussie is actually weakening a bit. So we'll have to, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Hamizan said, I want to buy. Okay, I saw US index.
That shit's scary, bro. Like, watching the back tomorrow.
Yeah, Hamizan. We were looking at gold earlier. It's validating. So until it breaks out of this structure. So let me pull it up right here. Yeah, until it breaks out of this this consolidation right here, then I wouldn't take the trade, because if you enter a buy here, it can easily spike down. Vice versa, if you enter a sell, it can easily spike up. So I'd be careful with that. I personally wouldn't enter gold right now. All right, let me go back to GA again real quick. Yeah, we got about 6 minutes left on this candle. Yeah, we're just pretty much waiting for this to close. I might even call it early to see if it closes on time, but we will we'll see how it plays out. I wish I held on to my US 30 trade. That would have been good. Or I wish I closed it up here. If I close it up here, man, I could have made so much profit off that. It's all good though. Still locked in some profit, 600 off it. So we got GA right here. As you hear over there giving some trading advice about Bitcoin in the background. Looking at the other GBP pairs here, they're all pretty bullish, so it looks pretty nice. I guess I can look at the correlating pairs. So let me just pull up the correlation over here. The FX correlation. All right, so we got the FX correlation over here for GA. So I want to make sure all the pairs are moving in the same direction. So if I do call that trade, there you go. Aaron over there giving some Bitcoin advice. So looking at the correlating pairs over here, we got GBP odd. GBP odd and odd SGD. We got odd SGD and odd USD. So odd USD, odd USD. Yeah, so they're both bearish right there. Looks good. Odd JPY, bearish. GBP NOK. I mean, overall it's bearish, but it looks like it's swinging back up. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, it looks like this can be heading up, but it's just a risky pair to trade right now because of how the market's moving. Let's see. Flynn said, Shawn, do you think Forex will go away in future of currency? Shawn, do you think Forex will go away in the future of currency, different altcoins? No, I don't think so. Not in my lifetime for sure. You know, Bitcoin is still, it still isn't at its time yet, guys. Like a lot of people are, it's pretty much just a hyped asset right now, right? There's not, and there's only certain people that use it. Like you still can't use Bitcoin to pay for everything. You can use it to pay for certain things, but you can't use it to pay for like everything, right? Until Bitcoin becomes like one of the main currencies or like one of the openly open currencies like credit card, something like that, then you know, it's not going to take precedent over normal fiat currencies because um you know, the currencies aren't just going to go away. You know, you can't just go to like a different country and then have Bitcoin to pay for everything. Maybe like in 100 years from now, I can see that, maybe, but not like within the next 40 to 50 years. Definitely not, Flynn. So I don't think in either way, Forex will never go away because even if you're trading currency Forex, you can still trade like trading Bitcoin USD. This is still considered Forex because it's a pair, right? It's a foreign exchange pair. You're exchanging Bitcoin for USD. You know, same with gold. You're not trading the gold future. If you're just trading the gold future, then that's not Forex. But this is Forex because it's gold paired against the US dollar. So the Forex market will like never really go anywhere. It's just other things will get more popular than others, but people will still be trading certain assets, you know, regardless as to whether cryptocurrencies take over or if, you know, the normal currencies like take their place. It just really depends, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It's just going to stick within there. So, all right, guys, we got about 2 minutes left on here. I'm going to wait for this to close and I'm going to call this trade. And then once we have that, we can go on with our day. Got to go walk Kai. He's over here chilling. He's going to wait for homework pretty much. Got to hit the gym and then we'll be back for these profits. Man, I wish I held on to this. Look, it's playing out exactly like I mentioned, right? I mentioned I was going to break through here, have it go through for a stop loss hunt, which it did, shot up to here. Now it's going to go sideways. And then once it reaches this point, it's probably going to spike up like crazy. I'm tempted to like re-enter right now, but market's just way too risky right now. It's just not something that that I really want to risk. So we'll see how this plays out. But other than that, I'm gonna call GA real quick. We got about a minute left on this candle. So call this trade and then we'll call it a day for now. And then we'll keep checking on the charts to see how everything else is moving. But other than that, I think that's about it. Unless you guys have any other questions, put them in the chat now. Otherwise, once I call this signal, I'm going to be logging off for a bit. I still have a bunch of emails to get through over here. Let me see. Yeah, I got a ton of emails to get through over here. And then I got a bunch of Telegram messages to respond to. And then other than that, I think that's about it. So let me post up this signal right now for you guys in the premium. You guys in the premium, you guys will be getting the trade. Let me send this over here real quick. GA for a buy. Or, you know, I'm gonna keep watching it first before I actually post it because this might not even close above it. Swing might not even close above it. All right, let me see. I'm gonna change this to a buy stop. All right, so I sent that trade out to you guys right there. If you guys want to take it, you guys are more than welcome. I'm gonna send this over to here as well. So there we go. I sent out the trade for GA right there. It's, obviously it's going to be moving around weird for a bit. Let me just set the alerts real quick, and then I think we're going to be done for the session. So let me just set these alerts real quick. TP1, 15 pips. TP2, 30 pips. TP3, 60 pips. And then obviously the last one, stop loss there. All right, so I think that's about it, guys. Let me just set this last alert. Get it right there. Set this up right there. All right, cool. Let me check the chat real quick before we log off. Trell said maximum amount of Bitcoin that can ever exist is 21 million. So it can never be enough to take over circulation. I agree, Trell, 100% with Trell's response right there. The how other limited assets are traded. The thing with normal currencies is that they're unlimited, so they can just go on forever. Hami-san said, Shawn, it's short USD right now. What do you think? Yeah, I'm in a short right now too, so I think it's looking good. I think it's going to reject off this point. You might have gotten in a little early, but I think it's fine. I think eventually it's going to swing down from that point. But yeah, guys, so I think that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out on Telegram. If you guys haven't already, if you guys can like the stream, that'll definitely help. That way I can continue to come online for you guys for these free live sessions every day. Other than that, if you guys have questions, just reach out to email or on Telegram. But until then, I'll catch you guys for the live session tomorrow and maybe later today if I have a mentoring session. But